The character tokens are just going to be some default ones, because
Wow, that's just rude.
so Roland is going to
I'm
look
a
like he's a
gnome
girl.
bard. Oh no.
Yeah. I really
Wait,
wanted
are
to give you
we
a character that just kind of exemplifies you as a
Scanlan?
person. No,
Exemplifies Scanlan.
Oh yeah, Scanlan is a gnome. I thought Scanlan was a halfling for a second.
No, he's a gnome.
Not anymore. I
All right,
mean,
I chose a name. What do you think?
Kappa.
Okay.
What did you pick?
I
Sure.
put Dilhwan. I don't know.
Yeah.
What? What's your name? Dilhwan?
I'm Dilhwan.
I'm Jorser.
Yeah.
So
That's gonna get super confusing.
super confusing. No, I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change it right now. This is a one shot that we don't really know the end to as of now. So,
Well,
you
I do, but
Yeah,
yeah.
you do. But wait, we could take it some complete different direction and end up a never winner. So, Jorser, get us
You wanna
started.
start? All right. So, the small logging town of Oakhart has recently complained of unusually aggressive wolves attacking livestock at night before disappearing back into the woods, leaving nothing but the bloody carcasses of their kill. The few villagers that have caught glimpses of the wolves, usually from behind the curtains as they hid in their homes, tell tales of massive beasts the size of bears attacking and devouring cows in a single bite, and hideous beasts standing upright with eyes burning as if on fire. Many even claim to have heard human-like screams coming from the forest before and after the attacks. As experienced adventurers, you know better than to take such tales at face value. However, the stories you've been hearing from the village did pique your interest. Having set off from Waterdeep about a 10-day ago, you arrive in Oakhart just as the sun begins to dip behind the tall trees to the north of the village. Keen to start as early as you can in the morning, you make your way towards the town's only inn. And as you walk through the town, you notice most of the homes seem to be deserted, and those that aren't have been shuttered for the night. The man who contacted you is named Digon, and as you arrive at the inn, the bartender hands you a note without a word. Upon closer examination, you're barely able to make out the shaky handwriting, but you're able to read the message. It says, "Meet me at first light. We have much to discuss," and it's signed with a simple D. As you look around,
never mind.
sorry, no. As you look around the inn, you notice one or two patrons, heads low, very wary, eyeing you as you walk in. Other than that, it's as deserted as the town. It seems most people have left. So, what do you want to do?
The note doesn't say where; it just says "Meet me at first light." You said,
Mhm.
and it is first light right now, isn't it?
Nope, the sun's just dipping behind the trees. So you traveled through the day, and it's just about to be night as you kind of arrive in town and make your way to the inn.
The bartender's walked away. Is he in sight?
Yeah, he's just at the bar. He's cleaning some glasses.
And he's
just
the one that
hit-
handed me the note.
Yeah, he was waiting for you. He was kind of busy. He recognized you as adventurers, handed you the note, and just kind of went back to cleaning glasses.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead.
So
and
we're all
approach
in a
it.
group together?
Yeah,
Yep.
we're all in a group.
Yeah, there's three of you right now. The story kind of assumes that you all know each other. I'll give you a little bit of what you would know about the other people. So there's Hiskar, the human barbarian. Then you have Roland, the half elf, I believe.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, the half elf ranger, and Dilhon, the gnome bard who stands at a towering 3 feet tall, holding a lyre that is essentially the size of him, and with a cocky grin on his face.
So yeah, I'm gonna walk up to the barkeep.
Sure.
I'm gonna go ahead and ask him. Aside from the regular stories that we've heard about this place, is there anything else that you can tell me? We know that there's been beasts the size of bears and eyes that are on fire, but have you noticed anything a bit more detailed? that you
Sure.
can
So
share with us.
you walk up to the bar. The bartender kind of takes a break from cleaning this glass with a dirty rag, and you ask him, and you see him kind of put down the glass and pause. And after a second, he looks you dead in the eye and he says, "The stories you've heard are all true. No one dares learn more of these beasts. All I know is that they've ruined the town. You probably noticed as you walked in, most people have abandoned their homes and left for various greener pastures, but the few that remain and he kind of gestures to the few people that are sitting at separate tables, looking around nervously, are ready to leave at a moment's notice. The only person who seems to be of any use or safe from the attacks is Daigon.
Right, and he probably left me this note. Okay.
So do we play in turns, or we just
Not right now.
just ask?
Not right now.
Right. You can ask
Right now,
a question
time
right now if you want.
passes essentially like in real time. When you get into battle, it'll pass in rounds where you take your turns.
Okay.
But right now, like 10 minutes is essentially 10 minutes.
All right. So you said these guys are sitting at different tables. How many people are there?
Looking around the bar, you see about 6 tables, 4 of them empty. The other 2 have kind of one person apiece, both hunched over. You see one dwarf in the corner with a large thing of ale and a hood pulled up over his head, and in the other corner a human nearly passed out, just kind of sprawled on a bench.
And you said they were getting ready to leave somewhere.
The innkeeper was saying that the people that are still in town most had already left, and the ones that were still there were considering leaving for good as well. So
All right,
the
so at
ones
this
that are
point-
the ones that are in the inn don't look like they're going anywhere anytime soon, right?
Okay.
Like in the next few hours, but they certainly look like they're not at ease with
Yeah.
where they are.
Like in a couple of days, they might not be here anymore.
Hmm.
Right.
Okay.
And I go to the bartender, and
Mhm.
I say, good sir, do you find yourself in need of a young, humble bard looking to make his way in the world? I will sing in your I will sing in your inn. I will perform in exchange for lodgings for me and my companions, my comradians, my fellow buddies, my butteroos.
So, as you walk up to the bar, your chin barely coming up to the stools. You kind of have to shout up so that he can hear you, and you're used to this. You've lived around humans, and at first you notice he doesn't hear you, so you kind of clamber up on top of a stool, and he almost looks a little surprised as he sees this tiny gnome appear in front of him, and and he pauses and thinks, and he says, perhaps in better times I would have much use for your talents, young gnome. But as you can see now, there are very few people that need to be entertained, and those that are here, I don't think would appreciate any more noise that may draw attention to the establishment.
Right. You mentioned Daigon. Do you know where I would be able to find him tomorrow? Like, does he always hang out at somewhere specific?
He pauses and he says, Daigon rarely leaves his home in the middle of the woods. He used to be a hunter, and he's lived out there for the past 50 years. We try to send packages just to make sure he's okay, but no one's actually seen him for probably 10 years. He sends letters, but he doesn't leave his home.
Is he north, west? Where in the woods?
He kind of he gestures towards the north, and you can see through a window the trees that the sun had gone down. The sun's now kind of past even beyond the horizon, and it's almost pitch black other than the lights in the inn. But you can make out the faint kind of outlines and silhouettes of trees.
Right.
And at this distance and in this dark, you can't see a path, but the bartender tells you that there is a path that you can follow. But he warns you. He says, but I would not go there until at least the morning.
Right.
And even then, I would never go anywhere near there. And as he says this, you hear a deep guttural howl coming from that direction, almost as if on cue.
Puppy?
And
Yes.
and as soon as this happens, everyone in all 3 people in the bar, even the guy passed out, he instantly sits up, and you can see terror in his eyes.
Oy vey.
I guess we're gonna sleep for the night. How much is lodging?
The
How much money do I have?
innkeeper, I think you have 15 gold. It should say in your inventory. There's CP, GP, all that shit.
All the way at
we
the
all
bottom,
got
the bottom
15
middle.
shiny shillings.
Yeah.
I have 10, so you guys are rich.
Dang,
Um,
you
Okay.
suck.
15. Nice.
The innkeeper pauses and he says, Digon sent for you to deal with this issue, correct?
Who?
Yeah.
Yes.
And he pauses and he says, if you think you can help, you can stay for free.
My man, you
I
cool,
appreciate
cool.
the generosity.
What's
So-
regular price?
I don't know. Depends on the
it
inn.
depends on the quality of the inn and the size of the town, but on average it ranges. It can range from a few copper, which is like 1/100th of a gold, to like a
A
couple
cent.
gold pieces for
Oh
like.
shit! So I got a lot of money.
You
Depends.
have for a level 3 adventure, which I've started all you guys a little higher, just so you have access to some fun skills. You would be considered not super well off compared to a commoner. Yes, you're pretty wealthy, but
Okay.
I
In
mean,
adventure
15 gold is like
standards, you're like-
$1,500.
You're like low middle class
lodging
right now.
lodgings are quite cheap because you could spend the day on a hay sack if you had to. When it gets expensive is equipment and stuff like that, like ropes, arrows,
10-foot pole,
weapons, that sort of thing.
acid-proof raft.
Right. So I'm gonna head to bed. The other two.
Sure, yeah. So
Game session's over.
the innkeeper kind of gestures up towards some stairs, and he hands you 3 keys.
Right.
So
So
as
we
you
each get our own room.
Yeah, so Hiskar, as you make your way up, you see pretty sturdy looking doors with what look to be new locks on them. As you enter the room, it's modest. It's not run down by any means, but it's a small town, the only inn. There's not a lot of competition. And you can tell that obviously they haven't had any visitors for a very long time.
Right.
Clearly people aren't keen to come into town lately.
New locks though, so someone broke them recently.
Yeah. So the rest of you are still in the bar. Do you guys want to go head upstairs or?
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, I'll
Sure.
waddle.
So yeah. So you walk up, Roland. You take the middle room. You notice the locks on the door seem to be new. As you walk in, like Hiskar's, it's comfortable, but nothing fancy. There's a small pot of water next to the bed, a pillow stuffed with hay, and the mattress is decently comfortable. But yeah. So you guys gonna go to sleep and wait till morning?
Can I look under my bed? See if there's anything in there?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's a candle burning in the room just for a little bit of light. You pick that up. You hold it up under the bed. Looking under there, you don't see anything under there that shouldn't be under there. As you kind of turn away, you notice a little bit of movement, and you just catch a rat kind of skittering back into a hole under the wall. But other than that, nothing of interest.
Okay.
Are there like cupboards in our room, like dressers? No,
There's like
just a usual,
in the
like,
corner.
bed
There's like a
nightstand.
chest
Okay,
that you
yeah.
could store some
Okay.
stuff in. But yeah.
Doing the usual checking, opening the chest under the bed, any cupboards and stuff, opening
You
those.
find a dragon's treasure. No, yeah. I mean, looking around, clearly there's storage space, but nothing being
Yeah.
stored there. It's
Just checking for assassins and all that.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm off to bed.
Sure.
Yeah, good night.
All right. Yeah. So
All right, see you
Yeah.
guys tomorrow. Peace.
having been dark, you get to sleep pretty easily. You awake as the sun starts to peek through your windows. All 3 of you kind of wake at the same time, all excited and a little nervous, probably about the upcoming adventure. As you wake up, you realize that you slept pretty well. You didn't hear any noises in the night, which is almost unexpected, considering the
Mhm.
stories you've heard.
Yeah,
They lied to
we're
us.
woken up by howls and screams.
Yeah, but not enough. Not overly so. And as you walk down, you notice the two, the one human that was passed out earlier is still there, but he's now under the table, kind of sleeping in an awkward position. The dwarf seems to have left, and the bartender as you walk down, you see him kind of emerge from his room, wiping the sleep from his eyes, and yawning. And he turns to the three of you and he says, "I trust you slept well."
Surprisingly so. I thought there would be screams and howls in the night.
He says, "You don't wish for that."
I don't.
Too many
I
times
don't.
I've been awoken by the sounds of beasts being slaughtered. It's a good night when it doesn't happen. Can I offer you any breakfast?
Definitely. Yeah, we'll have some breakfast.
It's the least I can do for a group of adventurers about to meet their doom.
You're a nice
chuck-
guy.
Chuckles.
Thank you for the kind words.
This guy
Um,
is swell.
Yeah, and he heads back, and you can hear him yelling at what you assume to be the cook to get up, and you hear shortly after you hear some sizzling, and he walks out with 3 plates of eggs and bacon.
Nice.
Too bad they're
You
not
notice
hard
that
boiled. So Cat
the-
could be here.
Yeah, you notice that the bacon is it doesn't seem to be the normal cuts. Just like you're used to, normal. This seems to be strips of like as if it was torn off the animal instead.
Of cut.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it tastes fine, and it's bacon.
It's bacon
for
bits.
sure that.
Just seems like it's been ripped apart and then tossed on the frying pan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Must have
pieces are all different sizes, and
Must have a dragonborn cook.
yeah, that's why there's no hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah. Well, that's odd, but I don't know how much of a profit investigating the bacon would be.
Probably not much.
Yeah, investigate the bacon. Right.
And just speaking of investigation, it just reminded me. This isn't like a you should do this, but sorry, I got loud for a second. You can anytime you want to like investigate someone, or if you think someone's lying, you can tell me, and I'll ask you to do like maybe roll like a perception check or something like that to see if
An insight.
yeah.
Woof.
But one thing that's important to remember is that a high roll doesn't necessarily mean that it's true, and a low roll doesn't necessarily mean that it's wrong. So like you could do investigation and roll a 1 and not find anything. That doesn't mean there is something there, right? It just means you didn't find anything. So yeah.
You could not confirm whether there was or was not a thing there. It is an enigma.
Right.
So where are we now? We're
You're still in the bar. You're eating your breakfast now. As the sun is kind of just peeking through the trees to the where the kind of wrap around this entire town, and as the sun pokes its head up, the trees are quite high. Without clocks, which don't really exist in this world, you can tell it's probably about 6 hours till noon when the sun is directly above you in the sky.
Sorry, you said the human's under the table. Where's the dwarf at? Or the
You don't see him.
He gone.
All right. Well,
He's the bacon.
we've had our breakfast. I suggest that we gather up our things and meet Daigon because he left us this note last night to meet him at first light,
Oh, we're late.
which is now.
The water to go.
Sure, yeah. The bartender kind of overhears your conversation, and he nods, and you see him kind of shuffle off, and he comes back with a water skin.
Cool.
Right.
Okay.
Off we go. Can we find the path to the north of Anana's house easily, or do I have to make like a perception check for that?
No, it now that it's kind of daylight,
Easy enough to find.
as you make your way out, you follow where the innkeeper kind of pointed,
Mhm.
and you're able to pick up a path, and you see, it's more than an animal track, but it's not man-made. It's just been worn in through
Right.
people walking over it. It wasn't created. Yeah, so and you see it snake into the woods, and even though it's morning and light, the sun is like above the trees. Looking in, you can't see much more than like 15 feet into the trees. It's just so dense, and the foliage is so dark that all but the smallest rays of light are blocked by the branches.
Okay.
I'm softly playing melodies on my flute.
Sure.
Is this torch kind of darkness, or is this just like dim light?
No, it's just dim light. And so Roland, as a half elf, you have dark vision, right?
He
Yeah.
has dark vision up to 60
Yeah.
feet, I believe.
So looking into the forest, you can see as pretty clearly. Like it doesn't seem dim to you. You know that it's dim because it's hard to discern color, which is what happens when you're using your dark vision. But other than that, it looks bright as day to you.
Okay.
Right. Can I do? Well, we don't hear anything kind of off in the forest, right?
You hear the wind whistling through the trees, but nothing unexpected. I mean, you get like an odd feeling emanating from the forest, but it's not.
Right.
You know, it's nothing like sinister. It's just like a dark
creepy forest.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? For the shit of it, can I perception check to see if there's anything like kind of looking at us or anything like that?
Sure, give me a perception check.
Watching us.
Yeah, so
Oof.
kind of you kind of
Natural
pause
quick.
just outside of the trees, and as you kind of scan the tree line, you think you see movement. It's really hard to make out, and you can't focus on any specific shapes, but you do see something moving, and every now and then, in a dark bush, you see what looks to be eyes peering out at you, but they quickly disappear, and you see something take off.
Is
when
that
they
just
notice
him, or is
you
that
watching.
all of us?
Just him for now? He can tell you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna inform the party. Be like, look, there's
Yeah. So
things in this wood watching
So
us.
He goes,
Hiscar
there's
on your
eyes there,
guard.
and we all look, and it's like, no, dude, there's no eyes. Ain't nothing there.
Hiscar is very familiar with the woods because of his background as a tribesman. Other than that, so he kind of points it out. You don't looking in. You don't see it, but you trust him.
Right. So everyone be on their
Okay.
guard.
My
Try
song
not to be
becomes wary intense.
surprised which is not helping my perception. So yeah. So don't try not to be surprised. Be ready for an attack at any moment.
My song
So if I
becomes
look
alert.
over, could I see it because my eyesight's pretty good in the
Sure. Give me a
Yeah.
perception check. So go into your character sheet and just click it'll be under your skills, like that long one with checkboxes, and click
Yeah.
the name where it says perception.
There you go.
And so I'll just explain really quickly. So when it's green, like it is for Gion, that means he rolled a natural 20, which is a natural 20 is the best you can get, even if like you roll higher. So like you have the
Okay.
same, but you rolled
Yeah.
16 and have +5 because of your bonuses. So like if you were fighting against him for whatever reason, his perception would have won out there, even though
Yeah.
you're tied.
Natural
Yeah,
20
so-
is the pinnacle of a roll.
Yeah,
It's-
like
Okay.
natural 20 is you succeed pretty much no matter what.
Okay.
Yeah, and the opposite of that is natural 1, where you fail no matter what, essentially. But so yeah, you kind of gaze into the woods. You don't you're not able to make out the eyes that Hiscar described to you, but you do kind of, knowing what to look for, you do see something kind of dashing from bush to bush behind trees. Just from the form of it, it looks you're very familiar with beasts, and so from the way it moves, you can tell it's some sort of beast. You can't make out exactly what it is, but as a ranger, you're familiar with the woods and especially beasts, and you can definitely tell this is some sort of animal. But you notice that the way it's moving, it seems to have an intelligence to it, which is confusing to you because normally, it's an animal. It's not. It's really just instinct, but this seems to be something more than that.
Okay. All right.
And it's only one thing that we see, right?
Yeah. Well, it's hard
Well,
to
as
tell
far as-
because
yeah, we can't
it's
tell,
kind of
yeah.
dashing back and forth. But as far
Right,
as you can
right.
tell, it's one. You saw
Um,
one set of eyes.
So do I know where these set of eyes are behind what bush it is? Do I know exactly where it's at right now?
No, you didn't. You weren't able to see the eyes, and what you did see has it was just at the edge of the forest line and kind of behind some bushes, and almost as you noticed it, you saw it, a rustling of bushes as it kind of into the forest, and it seems to have disappeared. And
It's
and
constantly moving around and all that, so we can't
Well,
Okay,
and
so
you
I don't know where
don't,
it's
and
at.
now some time has passed. About a minute has passed. And now you don't see it anymore.
We're walking forward while this is happening. I'm not standing still, I'm assuming.
Sure. Well, so you haven't made it to the woods yet, but
Oh, okay. Well,
you're not
fuck it.
you're not in the woods yet.
Into the woods we go.
All right. Yeah. So
Let's walk in there.
so you walk onto this path. It kind of snakes through. These trees are massive. You couldn't put your arms around it if you tried. And as you walk in, almost immediately the darkness kind of descends. And Roland, you notice all the colors kind of gone out of the world as you're having to rely on your dark vision. Hiskar, you can still see, but it's very pale. You have to kind of squint to make it out.
Right.
And yeah, so just all but the smallest rays of light here and there. Some managed to break through the trees. What order are you guys walking in? Just so I know, kind
I'll
of
be
who's in front.
I'll probably be in front since I'm the tank.
Sure, and Roland, are you
Thanks.
going to be in the back or?
No, I guess I'd like to be in the middle, maybe because I can see a little bit farther.
Sure, yeah. And do you want to be doing anything specific? Do you want to be watching out for traps? Do you want to be looking for food to harvest? There's all these things you can do while you're.
I guess
Or
maybe
you-
I'd be looking for movement for enemies.
Yeah.
Sure,
I'm gonna
yeah,
be
so
looking
you-
for traps
follow
since I can't see far. I'm gonna look kind of like downward
Okay.
in a way, like following the path to see if there's anything in the path.
And Dilhan, are you still just strumming your lyre, or what are you up to?
I
making
am
noise while we're trying to-
simultaneously on both of their shoulders, searching for secret walls.
What the fuck?
There's no walls here.
Okay, well, I play two instruments at once, and they go, wow.
Yeah. So as you're walking down, can all of you give me a perception check?
Okay.
Right. Oh my god.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah. So
Oh
as you're
my
walking,
God.
Hiskar, you're keeping your eyes out. You're watching the path, making sure you don't stray off it. Watching for any disturbed leaves or anything like that. All of a sudden, you hear a crash, and you turn around and you see that Roland has walked into Dilhan as they're both
Oh,
totally
boy.
focused on kind of different areas, and they just collided with each other and sprawled on the ground in a loud crash. They're all fine,
Wow.
but
They just headbutted. Well, not really because he's 3 feet tall, but you know what I mean.
yeah, Dilhan, he got caught up in Roland's legs, and they both kind of tripped and fell over each other, and you hear the strings on Dilhan's lyre pop
Boing,
off.
boing,
The
boing.
lyre itself is fine, but it'll definitely need a retuning. And you assume whatever, if something is watching you, they've clearly seen you. But you've been walking for about 5 minutes, and by now, the light behind you has faded as you lose sight of where you've entered the tree. You've made a couple loops. Roland, you're being a ranger and very familiar with the woods. You're aware of the direction you're in, even though you've made quite a few kind of U-turns to loop around large trees. You know exactly where you are, kind of with relation to where you entered, and you're kind of helping Hiskar guide the party. But after about 10 minutes of walking, kind of just following the snake trail, you pause after the collision to kind of regain yourselves. And as you look up, you see 6 sets of blood red eyes kind of in it, surrounding you, kind of moving towards you. And you hear a low guttural growl as these eyes kind of move towards you.
Good doggy.
And we're now voting for initiative.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they're moving towards you. Do you want to do anything before?
Can I separate myself from the group? Not too far, but still within.
He's just gonna abandon us.
Just
the eye-
as a strategic track, as a
Yeah. Well, so
strategy kinda.
so as you're walking, I'll move.
Wait, are we surrounded?
Well, so I'll kind of show you. So you guys kind of collided together here, but you got yourselves together. Can you see where I am on the page? You might
Yep.
have to, yeah. So this is kind of the order that you guys were in. The path's quite narrow. You could go 2 by 2, but and the eyes are kind of coming from. There's like 3 kind of ahead of you here, and then another 3 kind of behind you here.
Oh shit.
on either side of the path. So they've kind of managed to sneak around, and in the kind of commotion of the two of you smacking into each other, you didn't notice
And,
the ones behind you.
And you said we only see the eyes, so we don't have a sense of how big they are.
For now, you can hear the growling getting closer.
Can I make an animal handling check to try to communicate with them?
You couldn't communicate with animal handling, I don't think.
I don't know, man. I'm just trying to, my background, bro.
I will try to communicate. In the hopes that they are small beasts, I will make an effort to communicate with them.
You made
Easy.
speak with animals a ritual, and I don't have 10 minutes right now.
I didn't
I
make
have
it,
an
that's actually
ability.
what it is. Yeah, no, he has an ability. So you kind of, you as this is happening, the two of you, Hiskar and Roland, turn and you see the bard kind of jumping around, waving his arms, kicking his legs out, and making like little snickering noises. It sounds like almost like a squirrel would make. And and it looks very weird to you seeing this tiny 3-foot man.
He's doing
You know,
some
kind of
tutting.
dancing around, wearing this fancy clothing. And as you do this, they don't seem to respond like you're used to.
I turn to my
Dawn.
allies and I say,
So-
guys, these things are big.
Yeah, all right.
And as he does that, roll for initiative.
I was like, I'm pulling out my great axe in defense.
Yeah.
But we're good here.
So,
I didn't even
uh,
click on my character, but
Are we
19.
good here?
Yes.
I don't think we're good.
Make sure
Sure.
make sure you click on your character before you roll initiative. That you see the eyes kind of advancing from here and around here.
I'd like to go right there, more or less.
Where, sorry? I didn't see the
There's like go around over here.
Kind of like right here.
over there.
opposite
All right.
side.
So then I'll show you the path kind of snakes around like this. I don't know why it's red, but
Because that's your color.
yeah, I know. So that's
All right.
kind of that's
So I
the
like-
path.
We're in a bit of a. Oh, okay.
So
Okay,
you
I
go,
just
like,
want
right
to put myself in the
Kind of in
I
the
guess
trees.
in the mix
or-
of
or
trees.
still-
Yeah, kind of like in the trees because I guess I'm apparently more
Sure.
stealthy when I'm by myself.
Yeah. So even though you weren't aware of what was happening, you've been around the woods long enough to know when something's starting to feels off. Just a gut feeling. So as the tiny man starts doing his jig, you kind of you look around and seeing where the eyes are from, you kind of reposition yourself to kind of get away from the party while still being within range to help. Hiskar, your move. So you're up.
Where are the enemies?
You don't know.
Oh, they're
You
they're
see
still
some.
moving.
You see some.
They
You
just-
see some eyes here
They're just
and
moving
some eyes
towards
here,
us.
but you can't make out bodies yet.
I'm gonna move 5 feet up, and
Yeah. So as you move
Can
forward,
I-
you're able to make out the
okay.
form of the
Thank
what
you.
look to be wolves. They look slightly larger than you'd expect, but not the massive beasts the size of bears that were described to you
right
by
They're
the
just-
villagers.
some tanky ass wolves. All right, so I'm gonna javelin one of those motherfuckers.
Sure. So looking at the trees, you think
Can
you
I-
can
yeah,
probably hit them, but
can
it'll
I-
be tough. But you can
Disadvantage or
Nope, just normal.
Okay.
They have partial cover.
Oh,
Yeah, so you kind of you're still the forms are still very difficult to discern. The black coats are blending in with the wood. So as you pull back your arm to launch your javelin at them, you hear a thunk as it just hits a tree right next to one of them, and you hear a yelp as it kind of jumps out of the way, hearing the noise. But
scared.
yeah, you
Okay.
missed.
All right.
Well, just
yeah, just like
it was surprised by this impact right next to it.
right. That was my action. That actually rage is my bonus action.
Yeah, I believe so. So you see Hiskar kind of throw back his head, and you hear a massive yell, and he almost seems to grow in size. He doesn't, but he almost seems to stand taller, and you see the veins bulging as he starts like almost drooling at the mouth, sending himself into a rage as he launches this javelin at the wolves. And seeing this, the wolves charge towards Hiskar. The wolf takes a swipe at you, Hiskar, and you feel the claws sink into your into your leg. You take, let me see, 7 piercing damage.
Half of that, or is that halved?
No, halve that. So
So
half of
4.
and give me a strength saving throw. Yeah. So the force of this kind of, you feel it impact into you, but you're able to hold your ground and kind of you're pushed slightly back, but you're able to regain your ground quite easily.
Right.
Yeah, and so you just hear the wolf growl at you as the second one comes charging out of the woods.
Did the wolf
towards
have
you.
advantage?
Nope.
No, because it rolled 22 and then 15 on the bite. I was
Yeah.
like,
It always rolls advantage.
Huh. Weird.
Also, that is supposed to be whispering. There we go.
Yeah, I saw that.
All the settings got fucked up. I don't know why.
Well,
It's fixed
it's a
now,
one
though.
shot.
No, it wasn't doing that when I was testing it though. Anyways, yeah. So the second wolf comes charging out of the woods, and you feel something kind of dig in, but you're into your leg. You're able to kind of kick it off before it really sinks in, and you hear and you just hear a growl as the wolf recovers and kind of turns back to face you. And then as this is happening, Dilhan and Roland from behind you, all of a sudden you see bursting out of the bush another wolf, and it kind of comes charging towards you, Dilhan, but it stops just short of the path and just kind of stands there gnashing its teeth, kind of waiting to strike if anything gets close. But for now, just kind of waiting. I don't know if he's back yet, so I'm kind of trying to delay.
Yeah, I know.
Are you back, Alex?
No.
Okay.
Oh, you
Your
motherfucker.
turn. Well, I heard him laughing, so
Yeah.
I'm just sitting
You're
here watching, wondering what
baby.
the strength save is for.
what's the strength save?
What?
You're talking about it like it's a game. What the fuck? This ain't game, man. This is real life. You're fighting wolves.
Oh, that's
What do you
not
want to
a
do,
wolf
Dilhan?
looks
So
like.
you watch as Hiskar kind of
All right.
bellows and seems to grow in size as these two wolves latch onto his leg, one of them drawing blood. And as this is happening, you turn and you see one wolf just growling, frothing at the mouth, kind of staring at you with these beady red eyes, as if they're on fire from about 10 feet away, just off the path in the trees.
So they're looking feral. They're looking enraged. All right. I wanted to try spooking them, but I get the feeling that maybe that's not gonna work. So let's see. First off, as a bonus action, I would like to give bardic inspiration to Hiskar.
Sure. So what do you want to say to inspire him?
That's a good question.
Are you
What
gonna
an
play-
excellent
Are you
question.
gonna play a tune on your?
Send me a song. Send me a song, Alex.
Yeah, give me a little
Give me a little
taste.
tune.
Yeah,
Give
bust
me
out the
tune.
loot. I bust out the loot. They go
Oh,
ding ding ding
alright.
ding 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 ding.
should've been
This
like,
guy ding 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 ding
I
ding
have
ding
the
ding ding ding
tiger,
ding. You
it's
cute.
Yeah.
Ding 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 ding
So
ding ding ding.
Hiskar, you kind of in the midst of this fray with the two wolves that are currently latched onto you. You kind of
Right.
turn and you see this tiny gnome. Looks like he's almost doing jumping jacks, just going side to side. And you hear him shouting your name, and just seeing this little man, not afraid of these wolves that are easily twice his size and could devour him in one bite. Kind of you feel stronger.
Well, it's not a very combat-oriented character, but screw it. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna go in there.
You want to move in to fight him?
Not that one. Not that one. I don't want to
Oh,
be
okay.
alone. I want to go next to
Okay.
Hiskar over here.
Sure.
So I'm gonna
I thought-
attack
I
this
thought-
first one right there.
I thought you weren't a melee bard.
No,
Oh,
he
God.
he gave me
He's not.
he gave me School of Lore, which is more of a
Yeah.
support bard type.
Yeah.
It's sort of
Yeah.
I have healing.
You
know, I
needed
support
you needed
bard.
a little bit of healer, so I threw in like a caster. so
Yeah, it
we
makes
could-
sense.
Do your thing. Do your thing.
What am I doing? Rapier. Oh, I could. I want to. I would like to try using vicious mockery, but somehow I don't think the wolf would understand.
Yeah, I think it has to be smart to do vicious mockery, doesn't it?
Yeah, something
Probably.
like 4 wisdom minimum or something like that.
It has to understand. Oh no, if the target can hear you,
I have to understand what you're saying, doesn't it?
no, you can just do it. It's because it's not just the insults; it's laced with enchantments to
True.
a creature.
Oh, it's a wisdom
so
saving throw.
It just has to be able to hear you. Yeah.
So it can turn into a hyena real quick.
Hmm.
You want to
Right.
do that?
No, we're gonna attack. We're gonna throw a rapier
Okay.
in there. I wanna
Alright.
You
give
have
a quick
advantage.
poke. I have
You
advantage.
have
Wait,
advantage on them.
I have
yeah.
advantage?
Yeah, because you're if it's within 5 feet of me and you do a melee attack, you have advantage.
This is fantastic. This is good news.
And it has to be hostile towards us, which it is. Biting.
Are you sure? It looks friendly.
No, yeah.
Hey now!
Natural 20.
Hey, look at
Yeah,
this,
so you watch-
guys.
Roland and Hiskar, you watch as this little gnome seems to do. He does a little dance, plays on his lyre, and you watch as Hiskar seems to stand a little straighter, clearly inspired by this tiny gnome's courage as he rushes headlong into the fight, pulling out a thin blade. You see him draw it back and drive it into the leading wolf. As he goes to snap again at Hiskar, you see it just connect and kind of go right into his mouth. Roll for damage.
Ooh!
And you watch as the sword goes into his mouth, and you watch as the burning eyes kind of fade, and you actually see the sword poke out through the back as the wolf lets out a little, almost a cry as it falls to the ground, dead.
We're having wolf kebab tonight, boys. Woo!
Nice.
You watch as this limp body kind of just sinks to the ground, a growl on its lips that as those red eyes almost seem to be extinguished by the strength of this blow.
So we have one wolf in battle, pretty much in combat with
One
Hiskar.
engaged and two that you can see clearly.
Right.
Other
I'd
than
like
that
to
one.
I'd like to shoot my freaking arrow at him.
All right.
Which one?
Which one?
All
This
of them.
one?
Yeah, that guy. Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you want to do Hunter's Mark first, or do you want to just go with the arrow? Doesn't matter. Up to
Let's go ahead and do, well, I can always do my bonus, right? I can always do that every turn.
you. Yeah. If you Hunter's
so
Mark
mine's-
after you've attacked, though, you won't get the bonus damage.
Okay, so
It'll last. It stays on him for as long as he's alive. But
Usually the ranger thing is Hunter's Mark, then starts eating damage, so you get the bonuses right away.
all right. Now let me just ask you this really quick. If I just do a regular, if I just shoot at him, regularly.
Yep.
More than likely, will I take him out, or you never know?
We don't know.
well, you don't know, but seeing Dilhan kind of charge in, he got a pretty lucky strike. Just so you know, a 20 is a critical, so you get double damage essentially. Knowing what you know about beasts, you could theoretically kill it in one hit, but it's more likely needs 2 or 3 to take it down.
Okay, let's
Depending
go ahead and do Hunter's Mark on that one that I want to target, and then we'll shoot at him.
Sure, this one, yeah. So
Yeah.
so you focus your energy and all your training and kind of so you pull back your bow and you knock an arrow to it, and you kind of focus on the target, and as you release it, you watch the arrow as it whistles by Hiskar and kind of impacts into the wolf, kind of pinning its leg back a little bit. So you did hit it. So if you click on the word longbow in the chat now, that tells you how much. Yeah. So and you watch as a wound opens up, and you can see the wolf is now holding its leg off the ground, clearly quite injured. It's still moving. Roll now. Just type /R and then space. Yeah. For your Hunter's Mark.
And hey,
There
all
you
the
go.
damage. All the
Nice,
fucking
yeah.
damage.
So you watch as this arrow pierces through, and you see the wolf turn to snarl at you, and just watch as again it turns to bite at Hiskar again, and it doesn't seem to have anything behind its bite, and you actually, as it does that, you turn and you see that the arrow didn't just hit its foot, it actually went like through its leg and embedded itself in its chest, and the wolf kind of lets out a yelp as it falls to the ground dead.
No, damn, Mario, we're just one-shotting everything now. Okay,
So what
I
is
feel
the
like
1d6? What did I do when I did that?
So that's your Hunter's Mark. So you marked the target, which means that any attack you make against it will deal extra damage. Essentially, it's just bonus damage that you get on top of that. So
Right.
that's the part where it says if the target drops to 0 hit points before the spell ends, you can use a bonus
There's-
action to mark a new creature.
There's a small amount of resource management, like with the amount of spells you can cast and all that stuff.
Okay.
So now, Wolfie's turn, right?
Yes. Yeah. So this wolf, seeing its 2 comrades cut down, charges in a rage, and as this one charges towards you, you notice this one seems to be slightly larger. Again, not the size of a bear, but noticeably larger than even the other ones, which were slightly larger. And as he charges in, he almost with almost mystical quickness makes two quick attacks against you, Hiskar. Both of them land, and you feel the blood pour from your chest and your left leg where these two claw marks and bite marks landed, and you take 14 piercing damage, halved, because you're still raging.
Half
So
to
7.
7? Okay.
Yeah, so 7.
Okay.
And I need a strength saving throw.
Right.
I believe with advantage because you're raging. Doesn't rage give you something like that?
You have advantage on. Yes, I do. Okay, so I'll just roll again.
Yeah.
All right,
so
I'm gonna use my.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not.
No? Okay.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
So the force of these blows, you're able to withstand the first one, but the second one, as it impacts with your leg, you feel your leg give out and you're knocked to the ground prone. So we're gonna do that. No, wait, we're gonna do that. Yeah. So the two of you watch as this wolf charges towards Hiskar. The first strike kind of knock him off balance. The second one taking his leg out, and you watch as he kind of crumples to the ground, not unconscious or dead, but just knocked to the ground by the strength of this wolf. So you'll have to spend half your movement to stand up.
Right. Yeah, I know. I know.
Yep. So that's the end of the round. So Hiskar, you're back up again.
Right. So I'm gonna spend half my movement, so now I've only got 13 feet to get up.
Yeah. So you swing back your axe, and the silver tip of it kind of glints in the small bit of sunlight as you bring it down in an overhand strike towards the creature, and it lands with a dull thud into its shoulder, blood pouring from the wound, but still standing as it snarls at you.
It is 9 damage because I get 2 bonus damage to my attack rolls.
Okay. As
long as they use strength.
Yeah, so you see a massive gash has opened up on this wolf's back, and it's snarling and frothing at the mouth, but still standing, bleeding profusely.
I'm good.
It's not dead yet?
It's not dead yet, but it looks very close to you. Yeah, so as this is happening, Roland, you're kind of focused on the first one that as you release the arrow towards it and watch as it kind of impales it. As this is happening, you hear a snarl as out behind you. The wolf lunges towards you, and lashes out with its teeth. But you're able to, using your reflexes, you're able to hear the attack before it comes, and you kind of leap back out of the way as the wolf kind of flies past you, landing on its back with a yelp. It's also knocked prone.
It rolled a natural 1.
Yep.
Wow.
Damn.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you were able to turn and just kind of stand back as this wolf lunged towards you, and you watch as it kind of sails by you and lands on its back, and it takes a second for it to get up. Dilhan, you're up, baby.
Whew. All right. So since I'm a tiny man, and Hiskar's a big old man, can I see the wolf between his legs?
Yep.
Great. I'm gonna throw a dagger.
Oh my god, you're gonna hit my nuts.
No, I'm super good. No, I'm real. I'm
Here comes the
amazing.
natural 1 to castrate me.
Yeah, go for it.
Why you scared me like that? Don't say these things.
Oh thank god.
Yeah, so Hiskar, as you kind of pick yourself back up and make this massive strike, almost at the same time you hear a dagger whistle between your legs, coming dangerously close to your favorite body part. As you hear a dull thud as it impacts, and just as this wolf that had just been sundered by your blow is sort of recovering, you watch as it kind of tips over and falls to the ground with a gleaming dagger sticking out of the side of its face.
Didn't even need to roll damage, it's just dead.
He had 1 HP.
Yeah, I figured.
I guess I'll just move a little bit over here. That's it.
Sure. Yep. All right. So as that wolf falls, you hear snarling again, louder than before from behind you, and you watch as two more wolves appear, kind of out of the bushes, charging towards the tiny man that they see as easier prey than this nimble elf. The one isn't quite able to reach you as he kind of stumbles over a log and isn't able to quite get in range of a full attack. But the other one is able to kind of lash out, and as he does so, you kind of duck under his blow and roll between his legs, being the tiny man that you are, as you kind of dodge the attack. So rolling your back up. So you've watched as Hiskar has sundered this other wolf, and Dilhan has finished it with a dagger, and then evaded the attacks of the two new ones. In front of you, there are three more wolves. One kind of laying on its back, just starting to get back up to its feet, but still on the ground. The other two seem to be focused on Dilhan for the time being, but it seems that the rest of the pack has arrived. So what do you want to do?
All right. So my hunter's mark, it only affects me.
It's current. Yes. It's currently on this one. But yes, you can use your bonus action to move it over to any target you can see.
And it won't cost you a spell.
Yeah.
It won't.
It won't cost you a spell, so you'll be able to do it as many times as you want.
But the spell is still active. It's just on a dead person, so you're able to use the spell that's already there to kind of move it to another target.
All right. So do I have an advantage against this wolf that tried to attack me? That's now in prone.
Yeah, because it's on the floor laying down. Doesn't he get advantage?
He actually has disadvantage if he fires his bow.
Yeah, if you use melee, you have advantage. If you fire your bow,
so when someone's prone, they have disadvantage to melee attacks, but it's easier to hit them with melee attacks, but harder with arrows because they're lower to the ground.
Okay, so I'd like to switch over my hunter's mark over to the wolf closest to Dilwan.
This one or the right here?
This one here.
Okay. That was a lot of pings. Good work, team.
And I'd like to strike the wolf that's prone next to me, trying to attack me with my short sword. So
all right. You kind of lash out with your short sword, but the trees press close around you here, and you're not able to get a full swing. So the wolf, even though he's prone, as he stands up, is able to kind of just back away a little bit and just get out of range of your strike. So you missed that attack.
Well, that sucks.
So do you want to use any movement or just stay there?
I'd like to climb up a tree that I'm standing next to.
You can if you want.
Yeah.
He used his action.
I mean,
I'll
a move would still
as a
count
ranger
for that, right?
with full movement, he can try. Yeah. Give me an athletics check. So that's a skill in your character sheet. Also, make sure you put it to normal. That's fine.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine. It doesn't make a difference. It's just easier. Yeah. So the tree. There's plenty of trees around here to and you spot one right next to you with good purchases. You kind of nimbly leap from branch to branch up into the tree. From up here, you have a good vantage of the forest. Looking out, you don't see any wolves kind of in the direct vicinity. This seems to be the rest of the pack that's attacking you now. In the branches, you're high enough up that you're able to kind of pull back your bow freely. Obviously, you won't be able to use your short sword from up here, but it'll be very difficult for the wolves to attack you. They could probably still leap up. They got a good enough leap and maybe take a swipe, but it'll be tough.
Okay.
As you clamber up. Hiskar, back to the top of the round. You're up.
All right, moving over here.
And just to kind of put this battle in perspective, this so far has taken 12 seconds.
In real time.
Of time, like in the game.
In the world, yeah.
Because everything's happening at once and everything. So yeah.
I'm gonna plop myself next to my boys.
Sure.
And
so you watch as Roland kind of clambers up a tree.
Yeah.
Nimbly.
And in my fucking rage, I see this wolf vulnerable on the ground, and I'm just gonna try to just slice right into its stomach with my axe.
and my axe. You can roll again with advantage.
What?
You can roll again with
Oh,
advantage.
oh, that's true. Yeah. Let me actually do
Just
that.
roll one, yeah,
Yeah.
just to see if you crit. Yeah, well, so
Should I do the other one's damage? Or...
no, do the first one's damage because
Okay. Yeah, I
it's the
clicked
same roll, so you clicked it. Yeah. So as you kind of pull back your great axe and bring it down into the chest of this wolf that's just starting to recover, you watch as the blood starts to pool at the base of the tree that Roland has now climbed up into. Yeah. So as this wolf kind of lets out a yelp from the impact of the blade, it kind of picks itself up and it looks up into the tree at its initial target and decides it refocuses back on you, Hiskar. I had to find out what your fucking name was. As it,
so many names.
yeah.
Many names.
As it lashes out, but as it does, you're able to bring your great axe and just not able to get the cutting part of it, but smack it to the side before it can get to you. You watch as it just kind of hisses and growls, but it missed.
All
Dilhan,
right.
you're up.
Whoo! Hoo-hoo! All right. Well, Rapier is doing pretty good for me right now. I want to attack man. I'm going to attack this man right here. That man.
All right.
With advantage.
With advantage. Rapier! Eh.
Yeah, so you're able to, this wolf is kind of right now is focused on the massive barbarian swinging this silvered great axe around, and doesn't even see this slicing dagger as you pierce it into the side of it. You can roll for damage.
Well.
Cut off his ear.
It almost shrugs it off, but you do see a little bit of blood kind of matting in amongst the fur, but it doesn't seem to have affected its ability to fight at all. You want to do anything else?
Yeah. Alright, well, that didn't go very well. I'm going to use level 1 spell, Healing Word, bonus action. What up? Hey now, Hiskar, coming at you. What do you got? What are you looking at? Here you go. It's a Healing Word.
Alright, so this little gnome, after drawing a little bit of blood, starts kind of doing the fighting dance, putting his fists up in the air. Hey, what do you want? Hey, what's going on? As you feel some of your wounds start to close, Hiskar. You can heal 4 hit points.
Yep.
Yeah, and as you feel the bardic magic of the lute and his terrible singing fill you.
Man, you really need to Google some lyrics so you can sing to me.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And as this happens, the wolf, kind of distracted by this music, turns at you, Dilhan, and makes kind of lashes out towards the sound of this music, and you feel the teeth sink into your leg, and you take 7 points of piercing damage.
Woohoo!
And then can I also get a strength save?
Okay.
From the gnome, the strongest gnome alive.
Yeah, and when I say your leg, I do mean your entire leg, because your entire leg does fit into this guy's mouth.
Oh, whoops.
It doesn't matter. You failed anyways. Yeah. So just the force of this bite knocks you back onto the ground, and you're just left looking up into the sky. All you see above you is the trees, so you're knocked prone.
Man, it sucks not having Sentinel.
Yeah. And seeing its
Blimey.
opportunity, this second wolf moves in, and as you're kind of prone on the ground, you're not able to get out of the way before the second bite impacts, and you take 7 more. So you've taken 14 total piercing damage. You want me to do that for you, baby? There you go. And seeing this, Roland, from your perch up on the tree, you see your friend kind of knocked back by the force of this wolf's assault, and you see him. He's bleeding from his side. He's breathing heavily. And you see the kind of smug grin that he always has on his face start to fade as he, is kind of overpowered almost. Your turn, Roland. Up high in the tree.
Yeah. All right. So which wolf has the lowest HP right now?
Well, so this one you've marked. The
Yeah,
one
that one I
directly
marked.
below you is the one that, looking at it, it seems to be bleeding the most. The one that just attacked Roland, this one here, seems to be fine. He doesn't seem to have taken much at all. This one you see a small cut, but the one below you is the one breathing heavily. You see a pretty big gash.
All right. Can I climb up higher? Can I climb up a little bit higher on the tree?
Sure. Give me an athletics check. So as you kind of try to climb higher, the branches get quite a bit thinner up here, and you grab onto one that you think is sturdy, and as you do, and you kind of put your weight onto it, you feel it snap, and as you fall, you're able to catch yourself, but you take 3 damage just as you kind of impact into this branch, and you feel your ribs kind of not break but bruised. So I'll do that damage. And as you're kind of falling, you have to catch yourself with your arm. I'll say you can't move anymore. You kind of have to steady yourself with the rest of your movement. And you're slightly higher. You're about a foot higher, out of range of probably all but the most nimble of wolves. But
Okay.
you weren't able to get very much higher.
All right. I'd like to take a shot at the wolf that I marked with my longbow.
Sure. This one down here. Yeah. So nope, just normal. Yeah, so it's kind of
Okay.
steadying yourself on this branch. You pull back and you focus on this target that he's kind of behind a bush, but you almost see his outline because of your mark, and you're able to send the shot flying, and it impacts into a side. So you can roll the damage there by clicking the name. Yeah, and you watch as the wolf is kind of knocked aside and into his friend by the damage, and lets out a yelp as he falls to the ground in a pile.
Cool.
Yeah, there you go. Hiskar, you're up.
Right.
And seeing this, you see the 2 wolves seem almost kind of drop their gaze, and the growling is all but ceased. And they kind of start to slowly back up slightly.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm attacking this one.
Yep.
I'm in a rage. I don't know what's happening. I'm just swinging.
Yeah, so you see the one falter, and as it's kind of backing up, keeping its eyes on you, you're able to catch it almost unaware as you feel your axe sink into the side of this wolf, and almost kind of impact into the leg and almost cut the leg clean off. It's hanging by the tendon, barely alive, limping.
Damn. Even with
Yeah.
9 damage? Oh no, he didn't even take any damage, right? This is the first. Yeah.
He took this one was undamaged until you took the leg off.
Yeah, 9 damage won't kill him. All right.
Is that it?
Yeah, I don't have bonus actions on a barbarian, so yeah.
Yeah.
You're not gonna move?
Yeah.
No.
So seeing this, the second wolf attempts to take off. Roland, since you're up in a tree, you don't get a attack of opportunity, but I will give one to you, Hiskar. So I'll explain what that is. So when a creature is next to you, and then tries to leave, like get out of range, like this wolf just did, anyone within range can react by getting like a free attack against it as it leaves. So as you see this wolf start to retreat, sensing an opportunity, you lash out, but it's just too quick for you as it kind of dodges out of the way, and it actually disappears into the forest.
Woo.
So you're still knocked prone, so you have to spend half your movement if you want to get up.
I think I'll take a nap.
Thanks, fam.
Am I allowed to do anything while I'm prone?
No, you're not Percy.
I mean, like what?
Like, can I cast a spell?
I think you'd have to stand up to be able to play your instrument because you don't have any material components, and you have to be able to play so you'd have to stand up.
All right, sure, I'll stand up.
Okay.
Alright, I'm up. I mean, didn't make much difference. I'm still next to the ground. Still freaking there's the ground's right there
Yeah.
still.
Yeah. Yeah, and as you kind of stand up, you get a better view of the battlefield. You see the one wolf has disappeared, the other four laying dead. The last one with its leg hanging limp, and it kind of looking around as if it's ready to escape.
Hmm.
Cut off the rest of its leg.
Why? Why?
Wolf for dinner, boys.
Why? I don't know why. I mean, that wolf looks like he's gonna leave. I don't think we need to bother with that man anymore.
You're not a druid anymore. You're a bard now.
He's
True.
never a druid.
Anymore.
Well, that's right. You were a sorcerer. Whatever, bro.
All right,
you were
what are you doing?
basically
Come on.
a druid with your.
What are you doing?
Screw it. I'll stab him. I'll just click a rape button. That's
All right.
the wrong button.
Yeah, so this wolf already quite injured. Isn't able with its leg hanging the way it is. It's not able to really dodge out of the way of anything. So it makes it's easy to kind of dig the sword into. Yeah, and so you're able to kind of you attack with this thin blade and kind of flick it and watch as the leg kind of falls off, and then jab it into the side of the wolf and watch as it just sinks to the ground dead. And now the howls and growling have kind of ceased. Almost eerily quiet around you guys. So that's the end of the battle for now.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and say it probably wouldn't be advised to. Wait, we can't even. Yeah, during a short rest we could use hit dice, right?
That's the only time you use them.
Yeah.
But looking around, you don't get. the feeling
Yeah, I
that you
figured.
could.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
And you've kind of you can feel the sun kind of in the sky. You don't think you could turn back and make it all the way back before.
Right, of course.
Alright.
Down the beaten path then.
I would like to take a moment to cast a Cure Wounds on myself. Hey now.
Damn, son.
Yeah, so you guys want to continue down the path?
Show.
Yep.
Same order. Hiskar in front, Roland kind of in the middle.
I pick
Same
up my
stuff.
dagger.
Yep. Yeah, he threw his dagger at that other wolf.
Oh yeah, that's right. Can I pick up the javelin from the tree?
Yeah,
Thank you for
pulling it
reminding
out
me.
seems to be intact.
How long have we been in the woods for?
Maybe.
A minute.
Well, the battle lasted not more than kind of half a minute, but with the time it took to get to where you are, it's been a couple hours.
4 or 5 hours or so.
We are
I think maybe
super
6.
late to meet D.
If we're not going to make it back, I'm saying we probably spent 6 hours and we should probably just keep heading forward. So onward we go to Narnia.
All right. So having killed or driven off the wolves, you feel a little calmer. You feel as if kind of something is lifted slightly, but still very uneasy in this forest. The trees packed tightly together. You have really no choice but to continue forward on this path. So as you follow this winding path, out of the corner of your eye, you see more red eyes peering through. But as soon as they see you, they disappear, and you can hear the bushes move as they kind of run off. So on guard, you kind of continue along the path for maybe 10 to 15 minutes or so, conscious of many eyes following your progress. Up ahead of you, you see a clearing where the sun is breaking through the trees. It almost looks like a godly place, as this just because of the sunbeam hitting this. In front of you, you see a small hunting shack, clearly in disrepair, but obviously inhabited. You see clothes hanging on a line, drying, piles of firewood stacked against the wall of the shed. You see a basket of food with a kind of cupboard, and you assume that that's likely something that one of the villagers delivered to this house
Right.
a while ago.
Oh,
And
good.
as you kind of approach, you see a frail figure in the window, and you see that his silhouette kind of look up and notice you, and you see him motioning with his hand, kind of beckoning for you to come inside.
Onward we go.
Sure. So you kind of enter this clearing.
Can I? Well,
Yeah.
Well, he's frail, right?
I mean, all you can see right now is the silhouette in the window.
Let's get in there.
Can I? Yeah, let's just go in.
Sure, yeah. So you kind of make your way up. The grounds, you see what used to be like kind of a garden with carrots, but clearly the current occupant doesn't grow anything in the garden. Kind of disrepair. You see the aforementioned clothes. The wood that is stacked quite high looks like someone kind of came and did a bunch all at once. So as you arrive, you come up to the door, and before you even have a chance to knock, it swings open, and you see kind of a very, very frail looking man. To your eyes, he looks to be about 50 to 60. Difficult to tell. He's kind of hunched over, and just with the state his clothes are in, it's kind of difficult to make out an age. But and the sound of his voice makes him sound even older than he looks. You do notice that he seems to be quite fit, like he used to be, quite fit when he was younger, and has,
he's a toned old man.
Yeah. And so as he smiles when he sees you, and he says, come in, I've been waiting for you.
Daigon, I assume.
He lets out a big smile, and he says, the one and only.
We were supposed to meet at First Light. Did you expect us to travel the woods in the darkness?
He kind of pauses and he says, I must say I underestimated the time the sun would rise. I myself woke up not but 5 minutes ago.
What the fuck?
Okay. Guess it was First Light for you. This guy's a fucking werewolf.
Yeah, what up with this man, dude?
This guy's a fucking werewolf. What's it called?
Why did his eyes go in like agreement? Like, yeah, dude, yeah.
Okay, no, I don't actually whisper that. Like, he would hear me. So yeah, what did you want to meet about, Daigon? I'm his car.
Yeah.
Introduce myself.
I thought you were asking me. I was like,
no. I'm like, oh, by the way, my name is his car.
So when you ask him that, he kind of pauses and looks at you, and he says, "You are the adventurers I hired, right?" Kind of with a worrying tone in his voice.
No, we just like hanging out in dark, skanky woods full of gross wolves trying to attack us.
he paused and he says, "Well, I thought it would be a little obvious. The wolves.
Yeah, they're rude.
That's why you're here.
They're rude dudes."
I was like, is there going to be something after that? Like,
yeah.
The wolves.
No. Well, you asked why he hired you. The wolves.
Yes, wolves. Yes, they are in the woods.
They are. There are definitely wolves about. Yes.
Yeah, we took care of a couple, 4 or 5 along the way.
So that's like 2% of their population.
He pauses and he says, 4 or 5 of the giant beasts?
Yeah, they were freaking. They were like 6 times my size. I'm a gnome.
Everything's 6 times your size.
Yeah, he kind of chuckles and he says, "Yes, even I am 6 times your size, tiny."
Yeah.
And almost mid sentence, he kind of trails off and starts looking out the window, and then you see him kind of his eyes glaze over, and then he kind of shakes his head and comes back to reality, and he says, "Oh, how rude of me! Can I offer you anything to eat?"
Some fresh wolf.
Can when he looked over into the distance, could I like follow his eyes to see what he was looking at? Like as he did it, like what are you looking at over there?
Sure, give me a perception check.
He was probably just looking at the sun or something.
Oh my god, I saw his dong.
Yeah, I mean, looking out the window, you don't see anything. It looks really odd to you because you're so used to the darkness of the forest. Your body had almost adapted kind of to it being night, but now kind of coming into this clearing, it feels odd.
And you said his eyes rolled back when he
not rolled back.
Him?
They just kind of glazed over. Like,
lost focus.
When you get distracted. Yeah, like.
All right.
And with that
as far as
perception
you can
roll,
tell, he's
yours
just a
did too.
dotting old man that kind of trailed off.
Okay. Yeah, no, we're good. But then he glazed over, like he like almost passed out and then came.
Glazed.
If he became a donut.
Yeah,
when you're not focusing on anything in particular.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, like he became a fucking donut out of nowhere. What's it called?
You look out the window, you see Tim Hortons.
Oh god, I wish.
We're in Canada, guys.
I wish. What's it called? Yeah. We definitely like something to eat. It's been quite a long day.
Sure, and he runs in to the ice box, and he pulls out some meat, very similar to the meat you noticed that the innkeeper served, where it was kind of just torn instead of ripped. And he said, "I just got a delivery today from the innkeeper. He's so nice."
Today, I thought you just woke up.
Well, sorry,
Who
not
the
today.
hell delivered that shit to him?
Yeah,
No,
right.
I misspoke.
It wasn't
It
us.
wasn't today. It was
Was
a
that
couple
dwarf?
days ago.
It was that dwarf.
It was the dwarf.
That's
yeah.
where that dwarf went.
That fucking dwarf.
Do you want to ask him that?
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
can. I'm gonna go to the
Uh,
bathroom real quick while you guys talk to this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll ask him.
Yeah, so he says, "Oh, I have a few friends in the village. They're quite good to me. They take care of me. I'm sure you noticed the firewood. That was that was the innkeeper's son. He came out and he made sure that I would have wood for the winter. And the innkeeper always makes sure I'm supplied with food and beverage. You see, when we were younger, we were quite the pals. Some of the stories I could tell." And as he says that, he kind of does. He trails off and kind of he seems lost in his thoughts again for a second, and then comes to and starts kind of dishing out this meal.
I'm tuning my loot.
You just whip it out right in the old man's house.
I gotta tune it. I'm doing a little
Oh.
pluck. Oh, ding, 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 ding.
Sure.
You know, tuning it. Give
Sure.
it a little twist.
Yeah. Anything you want to do, Roland?
Is the old man thirsty?
Thirsty?
Yeah, is he thirsty?
You kind of you motion to your water thing, and he grins and he says, "Oh no, I'm fine." And there's like a twinkle in his eyes. He kind of turns around and he pulls out a mug the size of his head, filled with the smell of alcohol. Kind of hits you, and he starts sipping from that. So he's clearly happy with his beverage.
All right. So what the hell do you want?
Well, I would like a solution to the wolf problem. There's the wolves in these woods have always been a problem. You didn't miss anything. He pulled out a big beer mug when someone asked if he was thirsty. The wolves in these woods have always been ill-tempered, but nothing like the beasts we've seen lately. I'm sure you've heard the stories, and I must say, the villagers do tend to exaggerate, but there's a kernel of truth to all of the stories. He kind of shudders as he says that.
What's the kernel? What's that one
who's the
truth
kernel?
that
Well,
links all the stories?
Well, he pauses and he says, "Well, I mean, it depends on the story. You know, all of the stories are based in truth, but you know how commoners tend to exaggerate."
Right.
All right. So
So-
these wolves are normal, except for the fact that they're like twice the size.
So the ones you saw weren't twice the size. The ones you saw were, if you weren't on the lookout for giant wolves, you probably wouldn't have noticed the size difference. But because you were, you noticed that they were slightly larger. But the ones that have been described to you are massive. Like you would know if you saw them.
They'd be the size of bears.
Yeah, and going on what Daigon is saying, you know, tone that down slightly. You still wouldn't be anywhere in the realm of what you just fought. Like, they'd be
All right. So a little
Twice
bit
as
bigger, but
large.
not that big.
yeah. Even like the most modest story that you've heard, they were twice as big as what you just fought.
Which is somewhat the truth of like some of the. I'm confused now.
Well, so he's just saying like, you know, the villagers exaggerate, but
They are big.
large. They are big.
They're larger. Okay.
So how many are there?
He pauses. He thinks, and he says, "I mean, it's impossible to know. It seems that more and more appear each day. We don't have many adventurers around these parts, so when a problem like this appears, it's difficult to find good help." And he kind of smiles at each of you. Says that.
I start lightly tapping my drum, just to give the
Hang
whole
on.
scene a little beat.
How do you survive out here in the woods alone?
Well, as I said earlier, the villagers are quite kind to me. They bring me
No
supplies
wolves
and-
attack your home?
And he kind of pauses and he says, "The wolves avoid the clearing. As long as you travel carefully.
He's in a clearing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
Remember
that.
the
I thought he was like smack in the middle of the woods.
No. Remember, because the sun is coming through and
Oh, okay.
stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
These are
Yeah.
pretty thick woods.
They are very thick woods.
Yeah, but he's in like a little cleared out area.
Yeah, and he
Oh, okay.
says there have been times where the delivery was delayed because of the wolves, but lately they've been going after much larger prey, from what I've heard. Obviously, I don't leave my house very often, but the innkeeper's son, he comes to chop wood and bring me meals, and he tells me some horrifying stories of carcasses they've discovered of even cows and oxen.
Would you know where their den is per se, or like where the highest concentration of these wolves is?
The source of the atrocity.
Pretty much.
He pauses and he says, I really wish I could help you, but I'm not sure that I do.
What the fuck?
Would the innkeeper's son be able to tell us, or anybody in town, really?
He kind of pauses and he says, I think the best thing for you to do would be to stay here tonight and see if if you could pick up the trail of any wolves that may kind of slink into the clearing at night. They like to look for food. Maybe you could pick up the trail from there. And
How
he kind of
close
looks
is it to nighttime right now?
It's difficult to tell. I mean, in the clearing, it's a little easier, but a fair amount of time has passed. It's not imminent, but you get the feeling you could probably rest for about an hour or so, and then be dusk.
Okay, and how far was the battle that we had from this guy's
Probably
house?
About 20 minutes or so.
Right.
And the thing with the forest is because the trees are so high, the days are quite a bit shorter, because the sun dips behind the trees, which are say 20 to 50 feet tall, and then it's nighttime essentially because the light can't get through. So even though it might only be like 4 p.m., it's dusk kind of thing.
It
All
looks
right,
like
can I walk around this guy's house? Not like right
Sure,
next
yeah.
to the house, but kind of just like right around and just
Do you
kind of
want
see if
the
there's
inside
any
or
footsteps.
the outside?
The outside. I want to see.
Sure.
Anything like that.
Give me a
Scan.
perception check,
What perception?
or give me an investigation check. Sorry. Yeah. So as this is happening, the old guy has kind of tucked into his meal. He's kind of he's made his suggestion. He's quite happy with how this is all turning out. So yeah, you kind of, as you walk outside, you start to kind of look around. You notice large kind of there's a small well just about 20 feet away from the house, still in the clearing, but you notice large paw prints that look to be a wolf but bigger, essentially, kind of around the well, but you don't see where they lead, or even really the direction they came. The most of it is grass. There's kind of a dirt path, and that's where you're able to see the tracks. And they kind of you lose sight of them kind of into the grass, but you do manage to see some tracks that seem to confirm that there are large wolves in this area.
So how many of them are there?
You can only see, it looks to be one set.
Okay, so all right, so I'm looking at one wolf's, or what I think is a wolf's track.
Yeah. What
Is
do
it a
you?
pretty big one?
Yeah. I mean, it's not dragon sized, but it's big.
well, I mean,
bigger than
shit,
the one
dragon
that-
sized.
How fresh is it? Did he just walk by, or has it been some time?
Looking at it, it seems to be not days old, but certainly not fresh. It happened sometime in the last 12 hours, probably.
All right.
Yeah.
Hiskar, what are you doing while this is going on?
I'm gonna ask Daigon. Daigon, did you how far away did you hear that howl early in the night last night? And how far away In what direction was it from your home?
He kind of thinks and he says, I don't remember a howl at all last night.
No.
I'm quite a heavy sleeper.
Yeah, the villagers said that it came, or we heard it from the direction of your home, so we thought it might be nearby.
He starts to think and he says, no, I'm sorry. When I go to sleep, I pass out. I'm like a light.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I would definitely accept your offer to spend the night and keep an eye out on
Sure,
things.
you can do a few things before it'll be, a little bit.
Oh, but I'm saying,
just-
like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
we're
He
doing this.
and he smiles and he kind of leads you to kind of a side room. The house is kind of made up of 2 rooms. There's like the main, or 3 rooms. There's like the main kitchen, dining, living area, and then 2 bedrooms on either side.
Can I?
There's only 2 beds in the bedroom, but he's laid out a sack with some hay for the gnome.
Can I do a perception check to see if there's any claw marks inside of the house?
That'll be do an investigation.
Or an investigation, yeah.
That's crazy.
Can I assist him?
Oh my god, I am retarded. This isn't gonna roll well. My guy does not have high intelligence.
Can I assist that man?
You can do your own investigation check. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You can do.
Looking for the same thing.
Just
Or
you know,
secret doors.
just got that gnomish curiosity, just going like,
Sure.
Looking for secret doors.
looking if he's got a. Well, I found
There you go.
everything. I found his stash of porn.
Yeah. So Hiskar, you kind of looking around. You don't see claw marks, like nothing obvious like that. As far as you can tell, it's a pretty normal place. It does strike you that the inside of the house is quite a bit better repaired than the outside, but other than that, you don't notice anything. Dilhan, as you kind of look around, examining your sleeping arrangements and everything, you kind of move your bed slightly because to be closer, kind of to the window so that you get the light, and in doing so, you kind of reveal a blood stain on the floor.
What the fuck?
It seems to be pretty old, like it's not new, and it looks like it's been kind of cleaned up as best as it could be, but it's a fair amount of, like, it's a pretty big pool. It's totally dry now, like kind of gone, but yeah. So
That man is not who he says he is.
Since I'm outside, can I look inside the well?
Yeah, sure.
Already
Looking
just
down
like, rolling.
Looking down into the well, it's I mean, you can see down about 10 feet, but past that, it's pretty pitch black.
He has dark vision though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but only in black and white. So yeah, never mind.
Oh yeah.
I mean, looking down, you can't see down to the bottom of the well. It's quite deep. Looking at the bucket though, you kind of you dip the bucket down, pull it up. It's quite clear water. It doesn't seem to be infected or anything.
Delicious. That sigh of disappointment.
He wanted to just pull up a bucket of blood.
He was trying to find the
Yeah, I
ring
wanted
in there.
Something good.
A head comes out of the bucket. Right.
Yeah. So as this is happening,
gonna-
kind of the light's dipped farther behind. The old man has gone to bed,
Right.
but there's
And he
still about
just-
an hour of light left.
He just woke up and he's going back to bed. That
This
motherfucker.
is...
That's the life, man.
Honestly, that's how my dad was.
So I give Hiskar a low whistle, go like, look at this on this floor. I just found this.
So
I don't
I
like
see
this.
that.
But yeah.
I see that, and I say I'll take first watch.
Do you guys want to
And
do
I'm
anything
gonna-
else? You got
I'm
about
gonna-
an hour of daylight, or
I
like
want to climb on top of the
dimlight.
house. I don't want to stay in the house.
Sure.
Oh god.
The roof is slanted, so you wouldn't be able to like sleep up there, but you could certainly climb up there.
How slanted is this
I mean-
roof?
Give me an athletics check. Well, it's just not like you'd roll off if you tried to go to sleep.
That is a
Yeah,
steep
so you're able
roof.
to,
It's like an upside down V.
no problem. You've never seen a fucking house?
It's like that.
A house? Hello? Like what?
Yo, that house is like some polygonal artistic
I
like Renaissance
mean-
shit right there.
The roofs I've usually seen, I could just go lay on it. And
Yeah,
if it's
so you
slanted,
managed
it's
to
for
get
enough
up on.
friction.
You doing anything in particular? Or you're just hanging out on top. Yeah,
I'm just looking out. I just
yeah.
looking
So
out, just looking, for
looking
shit.
out, as you get higher, you're able to see the sun a little bit higher above the trees, and kind of looking into the forest. The light doesn't penetrate more than about 10 feet, but you notice that the eyes that you were kind of following you, even after you'd beaten those wolves, seem to have disappeared and don't come anywhere near this clearing, and you don't notice any. And looking around now, you don't notice any animals at all. Normally, you'd notice, some birds or some squirrels or whatnot, but it's almost dead. Even though this area is quite like lush and bright because of the sun that actually does reach here, it's eerily quiet.
Oh crap! I was gonna say.
I'll be right back. Interest.
Oh yeah. Oh, if I cast a minor illusion, and I go to sleep, would the minor illusion dissipate along with my consciousness?
Yep.
Yes, you can't concentrate on it while you're sleeping.
All right. It's not a concentration spell, but okay. What
Oh,
are you
well.
doing over there?
Well, it won't last like that long, will it?
I
How long
don't-
does it last?
Oh yeah, you're right. It's a minute.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here thinking
Oh.
like, I'm gonna do this awesome plan. No, minute.
This is
Just 1
the
minute.
well.
All right. Well, I don't think there's much
It
help
also
I can
can't be
do
larger
now.
than 5 feet cubed. So
Yeah. Well, but the plan I was thinking of was like make it so it looks like like help Hiskar hide or make his bed look like it's occupied.
I'm not trying to hide. I'm just
I don't
staying
know.
up.
Like if you're
and
like
then
you're
I'll go-
alert, you're watching out, and just make it so it's like
Yeah.
if a wolf comes in or a werewolf comes in,
Yeah,
maybe if you're in the corner, maybe they'll notice the bed first and think, oh, he's asleep, and then meanwhile
I'm
you're
not
just
like-
watching him end it.
I'm not like face to the window. I'm just like keeping like my ears attent to what's going on.
All right.
Ears and
Well,
eyes. Yeah, I'm not like peeking out the window like a kid in an airplane. Like, what the fuck is going on out there? Like,
well, I don't know. I don't think there's much else I can do to help right now. So I
do I
guess
keep my inspiration die? Because I haven't used that shit.
it
No,
lasts
it's
10
gone now.
minutes.
Oh, man.
it's gone now. Yeah.
So well, this is gonna count as a long rest, right?
Not yet.
But it might.
It might. We'll see.
All right. I go to sleep.
So he goes to
Okay,
sleep first.
We gotta
I
wait
guess,
for Roland. So
Yeah, I'm gonna
Sure.
assume. Oh yeah, he has to like. Did he already survey the area?
he got up on top of the roof and he checked out like outside the well and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean like from the roof. Has he like made his perception?
Yeah, he looked around. He didn't. All he saw was the lack of things.
He saw there was
Yeah,
nothing to see.
The lack
Well,
of
no,
things.
more than that, he saw that things he should be seeing weren't there.
Which is, what do you mean by that?
Well, so he didn't notice any like little animals running
No
around.
squirrels.
He didn't see any birds.
Oh, I thought like there was like
he didn't
trees
see any
missing or
red
something.
eyes. No.
No, I was like enchanted forest.
I will say that before I go to sleep, I pushed the hay thingy back on the bloodstain. I put it back on there.
Sure.
You're like, never mind. Don't want to go to the window. The last person that did that is dead.
Okay, where are we at? What happened?
Nothing. We just waited. Everyone did.
Oh shit, my bad, man.
No, everyone
no,
else
I
got
actually I
drinks
thought
and
about it.
stuff.
I thought about it, and did this old man offer us some food when we walked in there? I'm pretty sure he did.
Yep.
Okay, does he still have any food out?
I mean, you guys. I don't know. Did you eat it? You tell me.
No.
You probably didn't eat all of it. There's probably a little bit.
I didn't
left.
eat. Yeah, I didn't eat all of it.
Yeah. Well, and you also
okay.
saw him take it out of an ice box, so you know where that is.
All right. Did everybody go to sleep already, or?
The
no.
plan right now is Joe Juan is going to go to sleep. I'm keeping first watch. And what's up with you?
Okay. I'd like to maybe set up some sort of bait with the leftover food that I have, kind of like at the edge of the forest, just to see if any wolves come out. Maybe we can track some.
Sure. Yeah. Smart. Give me a. What would that be? Let me.
Put it in view of the window that we're in. Too.
Oh yeah, just right
Hey.
there, so that
It's not
so
like on
that,
the other side of the
so
house.
that his car can see it.
Yeah,
Roll-
or
roll
whoever's
Give
awake
me
at the
like
time.
an animal handling check. Yeah.
Damn,
So
son.
you Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, so you grab some of the scraps of meat and stuff. You take a little bit more out of the ice box, and you're able to put together a few little, not traps, but like you set it up so it'll make noise if someone takes it. So maybe it'll wake you up, and you kind of set it on all sides of the house. About 4 or 5 of them in a ring, within view of the windows. And as you finish doing this, you see the last of the light start to kind of dip behind the trees. So it's starting to get very, very dark, which to you just looks like the color is starting to fade. Everything's starting black and white because you can see in the dark, but not color.
All right. How many spare bedrooms is this? Is there an empty bedroom now that?
No, there's 2 bedrooms. The old man is in the one bedroom, and the other one that he showed you guys to has 2 beds and some hay kind of piled on the floor.
Does he have a window in his bedroom?
Yeah. Yeah, from when you were kind of walking around, you were able to see that all the rooms have a couple of windows.
And so the wolves stay pretty clear of the clearing where the house is?
Yeah, you don't see. Yeah, other than those tracks you saw near the well, you don't see any sign kind of within 10 feet of the clearing into the woods of anything. And as you're kind of setting the traps, you don't notice anything kind of stirring.
I like to be a creep and kind of keep watching on the old man through his window on the outside.
You're gonna stay outside?
Yeah, I'm gonna
stay awake all night.
Well, I guess I can see, but I don't have anywhere to really rest unless it's like inside.
Well, there's 2 beds. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm keeping watch. So you and Diljuan, and Diljuan's like on the floor on a pile of hay. So there's 2 open
Diljuan
beds
has
right
like
now.
a bed, and then there's 2.
I just don't trust this old man, man. I feel like he wants to kill all of us.
Well, I mean, I'm staying up, and then we're gonna rotate watch. So I'm gonna wake up Diljuan, and then he's gonna watch for an hour or 2, and then he's gonna wake you up, and we're just gonna rotate like that.
Okay.
So if anything does happen, we alert each other.
Put me to bed for the beginning.
Sure. So you guys, you kind of crawl into bed. Hiskar stays up, standing by the door. You get ready to rest. You guys have been asleep for about an hour when you hear a loud scream come out from the direction of the old man's room, and you hear a crash that sounds like glass breaking. And then it seems like from all around you, howls erupt from the forest, disturbing your sleep, and all of you wake up pretty much immediately to the sound of crashing glass and this human scream coming from across the room where the old man's house was, or room was. Sorry.
I'm checking on him because that's fucking crazy.
Sure.
So do we, since it was a short rest?
You were watching it, weren't you?
No, you didn't get enough of a rest. You certainly didn't because you were awake all night, but the rest of you didn't get, like, you weren't asleep long enough for it to really rest up.
No, a short rest, like 1 hour.
No, yeah, it was maybe 45 minutes. Like you had just drifted off to sleep.
Is the short rest like 2 to 4?
The short rest is like an hour, isn't it?
You didn't have enough time to.
Yeah, right. So I'm rushing into his room just to check on what it is.
So
I'm not gonna go in the room. I'm just opening the door.
Sure. Well, so when you come up and the door is locked.
Really?
From the inside, yeah.
I mean,
why would he lock it? He doesn't trust us.
I'm gonna fucking call out his name, like, see.
There's no answer.
Do we see wolves approaching from the windows?
Looking out the windows, you don't see anything. You hear the howling, but it seems to be getting farther away.
Can Hiskar still see the traps?
No, I'm in front of his room in the door.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I can somewhat see the traps if, like,
looking out the window.
Windows.
You can see the traps. They seem to all still be there.
So the howling has gone away, right?
You can still hear it, but
we
fading.
did hear a scream.
Yeah, but
we did hear a scream or something, right?
It's not coming closer, is what I'm asking.
No, it's not.
All right, I'm going outside the house and looking through his window.
I mean, I'll pick the door.
Yeah, so
can you wake me up first?
Can I pick the door?
You're all awake.
You're all awake.
You were all awoken by the scream and the howling and the crashing glass.
Oh,
Yeah, so
by
it's-
the way, actually, you guys do something before I actually run out because it would have given you enough time.
Well,
to
they checked, they looked out at the traps and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Oh, can I finagle at this door to pick the lock or something?
Um,
Can I stick my flute in there?
you don't have the tools required to pick the
Yeah.
lock.
We'd have to smash it open, and I just ran outside to
rations?
check the window.
Yeah. So Hiskar, as you went outside, as you come around the side, it's not just the window, but like half the wall is gone.
What
Um,
the fuck?
And
The debris is strewn like across the field, kind of on the outside of the house. Glass shards sprayed towards the woods.
And
This guy had bad gas.
and you see tracks, wolf tracks, but larger and only 2 of them instead of 4.
I instinctively recognize what it is.
Yeah,
Right.
and you
Okay.
and you're aware of what it is.
Right. Dagon is obviously missing from his room.
Can I be
no
out
sign
there?
of him.
Can I be at this hole with him right now?
Yeah, sure. So you come just slightly behind Hiskar because you were still a little groggy from waking up.
I want to investigate.
As you come running around, you see the wall blown out. No sign of the old man.
I look over to Do Juan as soon as he rounds the corner and say he's a werewolf.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to investigate, Dilwan?
Yeah.
Sure. Give me a.
Awesome. Great.
Yeah, I mean, whatever happened here, they weren't trying to be secret. So you see pretty clearly some tracks. You see behind the tracks, it almost looks like something's being dragged behind it.
That's what I wanted to know. Okay.
You can't tell what, and you see it seem to disappear into the woods. It can't have been more than 3 minutes since you heard this crash.
All right.
Wait.
Now, do I
Wait.
notice the direction of the breakage? Like, does it look like they broke from inside the room, or if they broke into the room, or?
Yeah, you said it was strewn out across the field, right?
Yeah.
So from in to out.
From what you can tell, it looks like, yeah.
But there's also a dragging thing. I'm like, look, there's
Yeah,
that whatever
that's-
came out was dragging something.
That's what's curious.
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
I wonder if it has to do with the bloodstain. I'm thinking maybe that guy was an
can I-
imposter. Real dude got hit in the head, blood on the floor, and it was hitting in the room. I don't know.
No, the
I
blood
don't
was
know.
dry and old. Can I investigate the room to see if there's any like?
Yeah, sure. Give me an
Um,
investigation check.
Yeah, like I want to check for chains on the walls, but that'd be something like super easy to spot. So
Yeah, you'd see that sort of. The room,
Um,
other than the missing bits, seems to be a normal bedroom. Looking
Yeah.
around, you kind of examine a little closer. Opening some of the drawers and stuff, you find a necklace that is very similar to your own. Hiskar, carved into the shape of a wolf,
right,
and you recognize it as from your earlier years.
like from my tribe.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Hiskar, you're a werewolf. I knew it.
No, I'm not.
Where am I at? Like, where's Roland?
Where'd Roland go?
Well,
So that was my next question: is what do you want to be doing while all this is happening? Dilwan ran out with Hiskar.
Am I still
You
in the bedroom at this point, or am I looking at one of the windows?
Well, no, you can do something while this is happening. So you were awoken by this crash. You looked out to check the traps. You saw Hiskar and Dilwan kind of run out the room. What do you want to do when that happens?
All right, let me climb back up on the roof since I pretty much know how to now.
Yeah. So you're able to scramble up, no problem. Give me an athletics check just to see if you get a 1.
Oh my God.
Are you serious?
Holy shit, that's amazing.
JC!
Yeah.
You're an Astro, so you rigged it.
So
Oh my god.
nothing bad happens. It just takes you. As you get up high, one of the shingles kind of gives way under your foot, and you fall off. You don't take any damage. You're able to catch yourself, but it does take
Dislocate
you
your arm.
another 2 minutes to kind of get back up.
2 minutes. Yeah, this ain't.
Jesus
a
Well,
Christ.
like not 2 minutes. 2 minutes total, like after falling. So by that time we've kind of caught up with where Hiskar and Dilwan are, where they're investigating the room. As you kind of get up, as you get up to the top, kind of looking around with it's still midnight. The light of the moon is kind of illuminating a fair amount, especially of this kind of clearing. in fairly bright light, and you can see pretty clearly some tracks leading into the woods with something being dragged, but you can't really distinguish what or anything other than kind of the direction.
I'm guessing.
But you can tell they're quite fresh.
I'm guessing Daigon didn't have this amulet on when he answered the door.
You didn't notice if he was wearing it.
Yeah,
So I can see definitely tracks of something being
You
dragged.
see, yeah, and as you're kind of looking at them closer, you notice that whatever it is seems to be walking upright instead of.
Right.
You only see like two sets instead of four.
Okay. And how many of them are there? Since
Just the one
all my
set.
abilities.
Yeah, just the one set.
Okay.
And they look like they would be a match for the tracks you found around the well.
Okay, just bigger.
The same size as the one.
Oh, same size. Okay.
What's it? So checking the room, it seems like only Daigon was staying in that room, right? When I investigated.
Yeah, you don't see any signs of anyone else living there.
Oh shit.
Man, I don't know if it
So,
would be a good idea to run into the
about-
woods.
About
Let's
4
follow
minutes
that
have
shit.
passed. Yeah, about 4 minutes have passed since you woke from the crash.
So we gotta
Shit.
find the source of these wolves, man. We gotta go out there.
We have to save him. We must go. We must follow these tracks.
Or he
All
might
right.
be since it went from inside out. He might have something to do with it. I mean, we gotta find out. We gotta
Yeah,
go out there and
I-
see what's going on.
I think he's a fucking werewolf, especially because of the amulet I found.
Yeah, and you guys notice Hiskar, like once Dilwan, you see him kind of pull the amulet out. I'm assuming you're not trying to hide it at all.
No.
Yeah, so you see him kind of tense up when he sees the wolf. He clearly recognizes it, and he's noticeably dismayed and angry when he sees it.
All right. By me looking at what exactly is being, can I tell exactly what was being dragged out?
No, you can't. Looking at it, it just looks like anything being dragged. Like with tracks, you can kind of tell the direction because the toes face a certain way. You can tell if they were running by how deep they are, that sort of thing. With this, you can tell it. It was heavy enough to leave a trail through dirt and grass, but not heavy enough that whatever was carrying it seemed to be slowed.
How big was it? How wide?
It was not wide. It was about maybe 2 feet wide, kind of winding through the grass.
All right. So like the size of a person's width, maybe.
Jorsa, real quick, if you go into the bio tab of my guy,
Mhm.
does that mean what I think it means?
So it means that you're cured. Here,
Right.
hold on. Be right back.
In the bio tab, there's 2 bio tabs. It's weird.
Yeah, but I
It's
can't
on the
see.
same-
I can't see anything. Like even if I click bio and info, it doesn't let me see his.
You
You
can't
know,
read other people's bio info.
You
Unless
can
you're
read
not-
the main tab is blank.
Yes.
The bio he's talking about is next to the core. It's in the character
Yeah.
sheet bio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You trying to snoop on my history, boy?
We already know you're a
Let's see
werewolf.
what's
Don't worry
going
about
on.
it.
What's the secret that you're trying to keep? from
No,
us?
no, it was my own misunderstanding. I didn't read properly.
You only
it wasn't-
imagined that he was a werewolf.
Honestly, it wasn't very important to the situation. I had just
No,
I
it-
re-skimmed, and I
yeah.
was just like, "Huh, maybe that would have helped." But no, never mind.
I made it seem a lot like more suspicious than it needed to be, just for fun.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
now by like taking him away and
just
stuff.
taking me away. It's like, no,
I'll
you
be
misunderstood. Was basically the conversation.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, he was cured of it.
Yeah, whatever it was, I was cured of it, which is
Yeah.
basically dysentery, might I add.
Essentially, honestly.
Essentially, honestly, it was basically dysentery.
Yeah. So what do you guys? It's been about 5 minutes.
Right. So since I'm fucking heated, I'm running into the woods, bro.
Sure.
That's what
so
my character would probably do. So
About
I don't want
The
to
time.
do
the
it.
two of you see him pull this amulet out of the thing,
I'm crushing the one I found, and I'm running into the woods.
and you see him just crush it between his legs, legs,
His
He
hand,
sticks it between his
his
thighs
hand.
real quick.
his hands, and you see the metal just bend and twist into an unrecognizable form, and then he takes off, just
Well, I'm
dashes
following him.
towards the woods where the trail leads. You're gonna follow him?
We're all
Hell
going.
yeah. I'll be your eyes.
We're all
Wait,
going to the
what
woods
Is it,
now.
What's a yeah, and I'm just screaming my tribe's
He
name, which I
can't
have
see in
no
the dark,
idea how
can
to
he?
say. Nope, I can't.
Can I?
I'm
I
just-
want to light.
It's
I want to
not
cast.
pitch black. The light of the moon
Yeah.
is enough that it's
Yeah,
dim.
Yeah,
there's-
but the
there's
woods are so
moonlight where I
dark.
can
It
see
looks
light.
darker during the daylight.
I can see like 5 to 10 feet in front of me, so I'm just following those trails.
The
like-
moon tonight is quite bright.
Brighter than the sun.
No, not brighter
mean-
than the sun, but it is quite bright.
yeah.
Okay, I
Well,
want to
I'm-
cast light on.
How
the
far
sun.
can I see?
I want to cast light on him.
You
I don't
can
care what it
see-
hits.
Your normal distance, it just looks dim.
Yeah.
Or it looks bright to you, but it's in black and white.
Yeah, you're basically a black and white film right now. What do you see?
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just running into the woods screaming, what is that?
Sure,
Uthgard? Yeah, I'm just like, Uthgard! And I'm running into the woods.
And we're following these trails, right? These tracks.
Well, now we're
Yeah.
following his scar.
Well, we're following me.
Well,
So
what are you following?
as-
His car?
Huh? What?
Are you following the tracks on the ground?
Yeah, I'm following the tracks.
Yeah, he just took off in that direction. So yeah, the three of you take off, and as they run, Dilwan, you start to fall behind. Your little gnome legs can't quite keep up with the taller
These little
people.
stubs.
Say something, yell at me.
I'm waddling.
So by the time Hiskar has kind of reached the trees, you're about 10 feet back. Roland, you have no trouble keeping up with them. By the time they kind of you hit the about 10 feet in the forest, Dilwan, you're just reaching the edge of the trees.
Scream,
And
say
Roland,
something.
as you're following Hiskar, you kind of turn and notice that he's not there anymore. The gnome
Scream.
is missing.
Say something,
Comrades.
no. Comrades is what you're saying? That's what you're going to use to get my attention, just comrades?
And
I keep running if he
Hiskar-
just says
Hiskar-
comrades.
yeah, no. Well, and as you're running, you feel all of a sudden a presence.
I
Roll-
stop in my
roll a
tracks.
perception check.
Okay. Do I get advantage for any odd reason?
Nope.
Aw. Wait, yeah, no, it wouldn't make sense actually.
Might make the DC easier.
Why
So
would I
as-
need advantage?
As you're running, you suddenly you come grinding to a halt, and you kind of turn almost instinctively without really knowing what you're looking at, just in time to see a massive creature with gleaming fangs leap out towards you as you just step
Holy
back.
Shit.
And in front of you, looking up, you see standing about seven and a half feet tall, a massive wolf standing on two legs with tatters of clothes kind of
Hold on,
around
motherfucker.
it,
It's a motherfucking werewolf. I know what the shit is.
and it just kind of stops breathing a little heavily, but more for show than anything, as it kind of turns to you and grins and shows its teeth.
I showed my axe. Hello.
Roll for initiative, you and Roland, who is there as well.
Nah,
Dilwan,
fucking
you'll come in
goddamn it.
next round because you're behind them. So Hiskar, as you kind of take in this this creature in front of you, knowing what you do, you're able to tell that it's not fully a wolf. Knowing what you do, you know that it could become entirely a wolf, or something in between a man and a wolf, or fully a human. Like it's a shape changer. And you can tell right now that it's clearly somewhere in between the two, which you know to be its more dangerous form.
Right. I can't like instinctively as soon as I saw it go into a rage before, or is it my turn actually? Because I'll just fucking go into a rage.
I
at
just
that
have to
point.
roll for this guy first.
Yeah. Well, never mind.
Nope, it's not
apparently,
your
I
turn, which
cannot.
makes sense. He did leap out at you.
But I
Um,
20 perception.
yeah, well, so you didn't get surprised, is what would have happened if you didn't see him.
Okay. Well,
Been-
whatever.
or
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So, so out of nowhere, this creature kind of charges through the woods.
We would already be in melee range, right? Since he was like right there.
Yeah. No, I'm moving him in now. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
think that one's gonna be over here. Roland, I'll say he was slightly ahead because he was raging. I'll say you can go into a rage like
Yeah. Like
no, not right
immediately.
away. Not right away. No, I think he'll get a swipe before you
Right.
can rage.
So then I'll just fucking rage on my turn then.
Yeah. No, well, I was gonna say you might have raged when you found the wolf amulet, but it would have ended anyways and wasted when you. So
Wait, that's 10
Uh,
minutes.
yeah,
Has it been 10? Oh, whatever. Fuck it. Yeah.
we'll say.
I'm
just
not
for
raging at the
simplicity-
amulet.
Yeah, for simplicity's sake. Yeah. So
Yeah.
he makes.
I was angry, but I wasn't raging. Yeah. Wait till PM that.
I know.
Damn it! I'm not raging, so he's gonna do like fucking 20 damage. I know. it.
Both hit.
Clearly. Wait, what? The 12 hits?
He rolled 23.
For 2 attacks, he rolled 23?
No, the first one. You take the
Oh.
first number. The second one isn't. That's like it always just rolls with advantage.
No, yeah, I
This
was
is why it
wondering
does
like if
that,
you made
yeah.
2 attacks and you just used both of those. I was like, 12 does not hit.
No, I whispered the second attack
Okay.
because I'm good at using this thing.
Let's see if I even make a Constitution saving throw or if I'm just unconscious.
No, he won't do that much damage.
All right, so I'm just gonna do it now then. I get advantage and I add my proficiency bonus. Way to roll that in secret too.
I'm not well. This you know, so
What?
this is your damage. How much damage you're taking?
Oh, okay. So 14. So yeah, he does do a fuckload of damage.
So
Oh, God.
15 total damage.
So I'm a fucking 9 HP.
Yeah, I see.
Advantage, boom, +2, 15.
There you go. Yeah, so you feel the bite sink into your flesh and feel the claws dig into your back as he kind of wraps himself around you, and you're able to shove him off, and kind of seeing what it is, you instinctively fly into a rage. I'm not giving you a choice.
Oh,
I know
yeah,
you would anyways, but
I
I'm just
would
saying.
anyways. So
Yeah.
Can I get a free rage? No.
Well, this is your last day alive anyways, so.
Oh, thanks. I love you for that. I appreciate it. So yeah, I'm gonna attack him with the silvered great axe because that's what I have it for.
Yeah. You can roll with advantage for all these attacks.
Well, I'm just gonna roll again. Thank God, I got
Good
this.
thing you got that out of the way.
Yeah, good thing I got that 14.
He actually doesn't have very high armor.
Good.
Because he's not wearing anything. Yeah, so you flying into this rage, feeling the pain and the familiar feeling as he bites into you, and you're able to resist the curse. You're able to swing as he's kind of thrown off you and connect, and you feel the blade cut deep, where normally it might be kind of repelled by his thick skin.
Extra damage for that?
Not extra damage, but it cuts
Oh.
through his damage resistances.
So just 10 damage, not double because it's silver. I was like, oh,
Nope.
motherfucking 20 damage would be great.
Let me just say, you guys are lucky this is an old werewolf.
Yeah, I know. I figured.
Roland, you're up. So you watch as this beast comes flying out of the bushes and almost smacks into Hiskar as it sinks its teeth and claws into him. And he brings his battle axe around, and you almost see it in slow motion as it glints off the moonlight and connects with this wolf as he lets out a howl. And
Wolf looks fine, right? He looks like he's still ready to go.
oh, he's bleeding a little bit, but he has pretty thick skin. It absorbed most of it.
That's nice. Wait, what? Even if it's silver?
Oh well, not like he took the full damage. He absorbed
okay.
like
That was
his constitution has absorbed most of it.
this motherfucker fucking resistant to slashing damage even when it's silver.
Alright, well, first
Roland,
and foremost, let's mark him.
sure, yeah.
Hey.
You watch as you kind of focus on him, and you watch as he kind of turns at you and snarls, almost aware of the presence of the magic.
All right. Did he get hit with his
Yeah,
sword?
I hit him.
By the sword.
I
You see a little bit of blood, but it just seems to have made him angrier rather than really like
Right.
hindering his ability so far.
All right. I'd like to take a shot just to slow him down, not really to kill him.
Sure.
And I'll use my. I guess maybe I'll back up a little bit, take some cover.
So because he did get hit, you get to roll an extra 1d8 if you hit. And you also get your hunter's mark damage, just so you know. So you'll hit pretty hard if you hit him. So what did you want to do? Sorry, do you want to step back?
I just
I'm
just
gonna
want to
move you
back
into
up a
center
little
more.
bit. Yeah, just kind of like get some space.
Yeah,
as
it's like
far as like how much space can I get?
you can get. I mean, if you go to about there, he won't be. He could charge towards you maybe, but he'd be going around and through his car. So.
Yeah, and that's 25 feet, so you're definitely in range of the bow.
Oh yeah, you're totally in range of the bow.
120 feet is the range of the bow.
In these
which is
woods, if you went
Holy
much
shit.
farther than this, it'd be tough. But from here, he's not in cover at all. Kind of on the
Okay.
path.
All right. As long as I'm maybe just enough away from him to where he can't just come out and just attack me right then and there.
Yeah, I mean, right now he seems totally focused on his scar, anyways.
Okay,
He noticed your magic and immediately kind of went back to fight. But you should be good from where you are now.
All right, so how do I do this? I wanna go ahead and strike him maybe somewhere low with my longbow.
Sure. Yeah. So just make an attack roll. We'll see if it. Oh
Damn,
boy,
son.
he's gonna get hit so freaking
Oh my
hard.
god, it's gonna be glorious. You're gonna cut off his leg with an arrow.
Then go ahead with it.
Just one
Yeah,
second.
you definitely hit.
Yeah, you definitely hit.
Can you
Also,
roll a 1d6 and then also roll a 1d8?
no, he did. This auto rolls crit damage.
No, for the
Oh
hunter's
yeah,
mark
yeah,
and-
yeah. So now roll. No. Roll 2d8 and 2d6 because
Oh.
hunter's mark crits.
Does it?
Yeah.
And does his feet crit too? It's not a feat. It's like a. You know. What I mean?
No, your feet won't crit. So roll 2d6 and 1d8. So 10 extra damage. So 20. So you watch as you focus all this kind of aiming directly towards the weak points that you see, his eyes, his mouth. As you let loose an arrow, you can tell immediately as it leaves the bowstring that it's flying true. And as the werewolf kind of turns, predicting his movements as he goes to bite at Hiskar, you watch as the arrow impacts into him directly between the eyes. And knowing that it was a good shot, you watch as the arrow sinks, but not nearly as deeply as you thought it would. Yeah, and it doesn't actually sink far enough to stick into him, as it almost kind of resists the attack slightly. And the wolf, now bleeding from the wound, Hiskar, close enough. You were close enough to see the arrow flying with tremendous speed directly towards his eyes, and you watch as it almost fails to pierce the skin.
Right.
Where
'Cause
your
that's
axe sunk
still the
deep.
Dog. Wait, my axe sunk deep into its forehead?
Not its forehead, into its skin. You watched as the skin seemed to.
Oh, like compared to my axe, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So now, Dilwan, you arrive. You arrive to see
I come
this
shambling out.
monstrous creature. You don't get to go right away. You'll go at your turn order for the second.
To revive me because I'm about to get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Well, you never know.
We'll see. He gets 2 attacks.
You never know.
He gets 2.
Maybe he can only do that once. You don't fucking know.
If a bandit can do it twice, he can do it twice.
Yeah. So you arrive just in time to see the werewolf lash out with its bite, and as it does so, Hiskar, you feel the amulet that you wear almost heat up. You feel heat emanating from it, and suddenly as the werewolf connects with your arm, you watch as it's almost blasted backwards, and it lands about 5 feet up, kind of knocked against a tree, and you hear a snap, as if a bone is broken, and you feel some of your wounds start to close as the power of this amulet almost awakens, so you can heal 2d4.
So that's why I have such low fucking HP. Nice.
And the two of you watch as this happens. It almost seems like the trees above kind of part as a beam of moonlight hits Hiskar, and for a moment, you look and you see Hiskar replaced with the shape, with the image of a snarling wolf, similar to the one across from it, and watches the first wolf bites into his arm and is launched backwards against the tree, snarling, looking rather surprised, before the kind of image of the wolf fades. Dilwan, you're up.
I didn't know I could do these things. Right.
This is a little. Ooh, what's going? Ooh.
Yeah. So
This looks-
Dilwan, you
this looks
finally
like
catch
trouble.
up. You're slightly out of breath from running. To you, what feels like 50 miles because of your tiny little short legs, dragging about 50 instruments with you that you always have on you at all times.
Should have picked it up like a football.
You arrive just in time to see this beam of moonlight hit Hiskar and send the what you assume is a werewolf flying backwards into the tree as it picks itself back up and snarls. Still looking intact, in fighting shape. Hiskar, where he was looking slightly weak, hunched over slightly from his wounds, he seems to be standing a little taller now, as almost as you watch the trees seem to close and the moonlight fades as the beam kind of disappears from over Hiskar's head.
So I'm gonna throw a Cure Wounds on him.
That's a touch spell. You have to be
Right.
touching him. To
I
cure wounds.
will first move, and then I
You
will
can-
cast the Cure
You
Wounds.
can make it to here. Oh no, you can make it there. Yeah, you can make it to there.
Right, so 20 now.
So my hand starts to glow from 6 miles away, and you just see me slowly freaking try to trudge over to him with my little glowing hand. Before the spell wears off! I gotta get there!
So you watch as about 20 feet away, Dilwan starts playing a soothing tune, and then he kind of looks around and realizes no one's near him as he kind of rushes up, his tiny legs flailing, as he leaps towards you. As you watch his hand start to fade, and just before it fades, you feel a little nudge on the back of your leg, and you look down, you see Dilwan grinning up at you, and feel some of your cuts start to close and strength return.
Do I really look at him? I mean, I'm raging.
Well, you're aware of
I know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not in a frenzied rage.
You can picture the grin that he
Yeah.
always has plastered on his stupid little gnome face.
I'm not in a frenzied rage. I'm still half here instead of like 1/4 here.
Yeah.
Right. Keep going. Do your thing.
All right, and then bonus action, I want to give him a bardic inspiration.
How many more
Plus-
spells do you have left, by the way?
Level 1, I have 1.
Okay, yeah.
So I want
Inspiration.
to give
Not a-
Hiskar a bardic inspiration.
Sing to
Sure.
me, baby. Sing me
Yeah.
a tune.
Hiskar, you look like a wolf. Now kill that wolf over there.
Nah, I'll take it.
You lose 30 hit points.
Told me I looked like a wolf. I've now.
Yeah.
He used mockery by mistake.
Cutting words, your next attack will do less
Cutting
damage.
words. Yeah.
Yeah, so you, emboldened by this gnome's bravery and leaping towards you while fighting this werewolf, you can take your inspiration die.
Sweet.
And by extension can also take your turn.
See, I'm gonna run at him, of course. Wait, when he got knocked back, I didn't get an opportunity attack, did I?
You don't get an
No.
opportunity attacks when they're knocked back.
Oh, okay,
ever.
not true. Too fast. So yeah, just great axe. I'm not trying to like cut off his head. I'm more trying to like weaken his arms. Just
That doesn't affect your roll, so
We don't have
just
locational
flavor
damage.
wise. Like, I'm just
Yeah.
saying I'm not, if I do some crazy shit right now, I'm
Yeah.
not trying to chop his head off.
Mhm.
Well, you know what? If he dies, he dies. Whatever. It's gonna be lethal.
don't roll with advantage anymore, by the
What?
way.
I'm.
The amulet kind of, the power is faded slightly from it.
Oh,
You still hit with the first one.
I didn't know why. I thought it was because of the silver. You were just like roll with advantage. I was like, okay.
Nope. No. Well, I was telling you to roll with advantage because you
Yeah.
didn't, and I didn't tell you why because you didn't know why.
Yeah. I
Now
know.
you can assume that
I assumed.
it's faded. It's
All right.
faded.
Either
You
way,
still hit
17.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
17. So,
So roll
So
that Damahe.
12 damage.
So this werewolf still back against the tree, snarling, eyes burning and with orange fire, as it starts to kind of pick itself up and turn towards you. Just as it does so, you kind of swing your axe back at it and feel it connect into its right arm, and you feel the blade sink deep, and it lets out a howl, and just it seems to be it kind of frothing at the mouth, spittle flying everywhere as it just rears its head back and roars. He's looking, you can see a bit of blood pooling at the ground between his toes, but he doesn't seem to be on death's door or anything, and he
Alright,
certainly doesn't seem to be trying to flee.
All right. Let me step. So we're all in the woods right now, right? There's trees all over.
Yeah,
the place.
there's trees all over. You're kind of the path that he was dragging you through is kind of a natural path. There's still trees on all sides, but there's a slight, not clearing, but like animal track essentially that you're on.
All right.
now.
Let me. Let's see here. Let's get a little bit closer to him. Probably more or less where Dowan's at.
Like
And
here?
let's take another. Yeah, that's pretty good. And let's take another shot at him.
Sure. Yeah.
All the damage.
Yeah, so roll to hit that. Yeah, so seeing this wolf engaged with Hiskar, your buddy, and seeing Hiskar's power kind of fills you with it kind of emboldens you as you knock another arrow to your bow and take aim, and send it flying. You can also roll your 1d8 and 1d6 for your shizzle. Yeah, so and you kind of let loose the arrow and watch it as it sails and kind of hits the wolf dead in the chest, and watch as again it kind of fails to sink in, but it you see a larger stream of blood kind of trickle out.
Come on,
again,
hit me, motherfucker.
Still
Hit me,
standing,
motherfucker.
still standing, but now looking certainly worse for wear.
This guy's fucking doing rogue damage here.
Well, his fucking ability when fighting like
I know. I love that I picked that for him.
Yeah, a big bad end guy, evil guy, is like
Yeah.
OP.
Yep.
Yeah.
I picked it. I was like, yeah, that'll probably be good. An extra 1d8. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so now kind of sent into a rage, you watch as this wolf seems kind of before your eyes, you see just shift into a wolf, a fully wolf form, this time as large as a bear, but no human features remain, and you see the clothing that it's wearing kind of just ripped to shreds as his form grows in this grotesque kind of almost comical, like as his arms grow muscular and stuff, and you see his eyes lock onto you, Hiskar, as he launches into a flurry of attacks. And
flurry, I don't like that.
And you manage to parry the first one, but just overwhelmed by the strength behind the blows. You feel his claws sink into you, and you feel the familiar feeling of his teeth sink into your leg. You take 9 piercing, 6 slashing damage. You can have those because you're raging.
Yeah, either way, I have both of them to 8.
And make a Constitution save with advantage. Yeah. And again, through sheer force of will, you channel your energy to resist the curse. So now, Dilwan, you watch as this 7-foot tall werewolf kind of disappears behind a cloud of mist, and as the mist clears shortly, you see standing before you a wolf, muscular and grotesque, almost the size of a bear, and you watch as it manages to break through Hiskar's defense and draw blood, and sink its teeth into his leg and claws into his back. What do you want to do?
I'll do Vicious Mockery.
Sure.
Yeah. That seems like a great plan.
So he must succeed a Wisdom saving throw.
Hope he's not a very wise fucking werewolf.
What's the DC?
13.
He fails.
Yeah.
So what do you want to say to him? What do you want to say to him to viciously mock him?
What kind of werewolf are you? You turn into a wolf? That's no good. Werewolves who don't stand on 4 paws. You're supposed to two bipedal werewolf. That's what you do.
This werewolf kind of turns. You can see, even though he's in a beast form, you can still see the intelligence burning behind his eyes.
Yeah, that's right.
He clearly heard and understand you, and you watch as he just turns to you, and as much as his form can, you almost see a smile creep across his face, and you see him wince in pain, but he smiles and he seems to be focused on you.
The fuck?
Yeah,
what are you happing about? He's the one striking undignified.
Can I?
So he has disadvantage on the next attack roll he makes.
Yeah.
From my history of encountering these things, if I call out his name, would he reply? Like, would my character know, or like not reply, but would he understand? Oh, okay.
So that's what you'd know.
All right. So as my, can I do this as my bonus action to try to like speak to him real quick? Or would it take up my
it'd be
whole
your,
action?
It'd be your full action to try
Uh.
to say something to him in the midst of combat.
I mean,
Keep
I'm
in
not trying
mind,
to like have a conversation.
a round is 6 seconds, right? So a turn
Yeah.
is less than that.
Right.
So
Can I do it?
you could say if you could say what you want to say in like less than a second, that'd be an action.
It's 3 words. So 3 words is an action.
I think for to say it and for him to kind of process it and stuff, I think it would take a full action.
Can I say it while I swing?
Yeah, is it
Sure.
his battle cry?
Hey, all right, so I'm gonna.
Well,
as I'm-
the issue is it kind of depends what you're saying. Like if you're trying to like intimidate him, that would be an act. If you're just like saying shit to him, sure. Like
okay, here you tell me. I'm trying to say stop this Diagon. 3 words.
uh-huh.
I guess
mean,
one of those-
looking at him, he doesn't seem to like he doesn't seem like he'll be swayed by
right.
talking. He's kind of
fuck
in
it.
a,
I'm
in a
saying it
rage.
anyways while I'm
Sure,
swinging.
yeah. Sure.
I don't really.
So yeah, and so you feel the blade sink deep as you say stop this Diagon, and you kind of watch as much as you can as you're digging your blade into him, as like to see if there's any. He doesn't seem to react when you say that at all.
I swear, I might as well just add +2 to this thing for damage, like on the rolls in the macro thing.
You watch as the creature starts to breathe a little heavier. The growl that has just been kind of coming out of it constantly kind of stops, and he's more focused now on kind of the fight at hand. He's looking wounded, but still standing and fighting.
Right.
I like this guy. He's very efficient.
Yeah, just fucking kill it.
Yeah.
Kill it with
Yeah,
high
so-
damage.
So taking aim at this now, where once there stood a hybrid man wolf, just a massive wolf now. Kind of what you imagined when you first heard the stories before you came to this town. You take aim with your longbow and watch as the arrow flies towards him and impacts with his side, so you can roll damage. You watch as the arrow flies and almost seems to stop and barely nick the skin. You watch as he doesn't even seem to react to the. It clearly wounded him, but not enough for him to even react to it.
Motherfucking resistances.
The werewolf now, kind of you watch his scars. The werewolf in wolf form now seems to kind of shy away from you, and he runs by to try to get to Dilwan.
Nope.
He's still within range.
Oh,
As
is he?
you-
Oh,
so you
fuck,
don't
never
even
mind. Yeah.
get the attack.
Never mind.
Dilwan, you watch as this massive bear about, you have to look up, like almost into the sky to even see it as it charges towards you. You feel its teeth sink deep into you.
I would like to use a bardic inspiration die.
For what? For cutting words? Or do you want
That
to
is
do
not
it
a-
for the attack, or do you want to do it for the damage?
Let's do it for the attack.
Okay, so you're gonna try to make him not hit.
Yeah. Apparently that's
So
not a
roll-
button, so I'm just gonna have to roll a.
No, you have to roll 1d6. Yeah.
Awesome. Super good.
It actually is because he crit, and now he doesn't.
Wow. Wait, that affects. Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, because he rolled a natural 20, but now it's not a 20 anymore.
Yeah, I was about to
So-
say that does drop the actual dice
Yep.
roller.
Yeah, it drops the dice itself, especially in this situation. So you feel its claws sink in, or I guess what do you want to say to cut him? Cut him
Bad
deeply with your words.
doggy.
I'll make a reference to Niyasha. I'll just say sit.
You watch as that's enough to cause him to kind of hesitate just enough that you're able to get your arteries out of his mouth before he chomps down.
He gives me a confused look, like, do I look like a dog to you? Am I Fido? Arf, arf. No, I'm eating you.
And you feel the claws or the bite sink in. You take 7 piercing damage, and can you make a Constitution saving throw, please?
Do I die?
Nope. Yeah, so the teeth sink into you, and you watch as he snarls at you, clearly intelligent enough to understand your words, and angry enough to attack you for them.
All right. Well, I say you still look stupid.
Dilwan, you're up.
Oh. I don't like the situation we're in
Is
right
that
now.
your action? You saying you still look stupid?
No. No, definitely not. Let's see here.
And Dilwan, with your shorter stature, you're almost able to see kind of underneath him, and as you look up, you see that his wounds seem to be a lot worse than at first they appeared, and he does look quite weak, but not not
at
limping
death's
or
door.
anything, but he's weak.
Not gonna use that one. All right. What else can I do?
You have advantage on melee attacks. That's about it right now. dude.
Awesome.
How far are we from the house right now?
A good distance. You can't see it behind you.
Well,
It took you. I think it was about 10 minutes. Or no, it was about 10 minutes because Dilwan was a ways behind.
it
I know,
comes
you're
down
about
to
10 minutes
this
into the floor.
one gnome, one rapier, all day, all night.
Go for it.
There's 3 of us going. Hopefully, we can all do enough damage.
All right, so you
Yeah,
said
I don't know that
advantage on
it's-
melee attack.
Thank God.
Yeah, so you kind of from your short height, you're able to just drive it directly up into his chest, and kind of aiming for one of his wounds. You watch as the sword kind of instead of sinking into the flesh like you thought it would, the rapier being so flexible as it is, almost bends into him as the skin seems to resist the blow.
This is not good.
Fuck it. Yeah, that's gonna be it. Yeah, I'm not gonna use the.
All right. As you bring the blade in a big sweeping arc down, as it's kind of focused on Dilwan, aiming for its neck, it seems to sense your blow and steps back
Mother.
out of the way as the blade impacts
Fuck.
into the dirt and sends kind of sparks flying as it hits a rock and arcs off.
So it's got 14 AC. Okay.
Roland, you're up.
All right, I'd like to back up a little bit just so I can get enough distance so I can send another arrow flying his way.
Sure. I mean, you can shoot from anything but melee range just fine, but you can get some distance so you can't close the distances easily.
Well, I still want to be in range of him, just not.
Oh, you're well within range. You have 120 range, which would reach like past up here.
Okay, so he can still hit me if he wanted to.
Oh no. He'd have to run towards you and then.
He would
try
have to run towards you, and he would get hit twice from your friends.
All right.
It's unlikely that he would. He barely even knows you're there. As far as he knows, he's just being stung by a bee kind of thing every time, except for that first time.
Aim for the eyes.
Yeah.
All right, let's hit him again.
All right. Yeah.
This
So you pull back.
guy.
You pull back the arrow. And again, as you do so, a beam of moonlight almost seems to glint off the arrow as it's released, flying towards him, and it impacts. And this time it seems to sink farther in. Roll for damage. And you watch as the arrow sinks in, and suddenly in almost a cloud of smoke, you watch as the wolf form disappears,
Oh,
and in
thank
its
God.
place is a frail old man laying dead, and you recognize him as the old man from,
Wait, he's
from the
dead?
house.
He's dead.
Dead.
Like not even like death saves. Like I can't revive his ass.
No, he's dead.
Oh, damn
The
it.
arrow piercing through, and as he reverts to his true form, that of a human. All that's left, he's totally nude. His old man dong just waving out there. The only thing left is an arrow directly between his eyes, sunk about 4 inches into his skull.
Nice.
Well, at least I didn't die because of the fucking nuke-tastic damage over here.
And as he falls, Hiskar, you turn and you see Dilwan, and you watch as the beam of moonlight that kind of illuminated Roland as he shot his arrow, kind of the earth rotates enough that the moon passes over Dilwan, and you watch as he starts to change.
Can I kick him into the shadow?
the bite of the werewolf having infected Dill1, he starts to morph into a form larger than he normally is, but still small for werewolves.
Right, right.
In
Can I
my
take
in
him
my
out of
last
the
moments of
moonlight?
consciousness, I go, God, don't you dare kill me, guys! Don't you freaking dare kill me, you guys!
Can I?
Dill1, do you want to accept the curse or do you want to try to fight it?
Why would I accept it? What do I gain for accepting it?
You get
You're gonna have to
If I
find
accept
out.
it, does the curse accept me, and then I can stay conscious while I'm in the form and be like, guys, I did it, I accepted it, and now I am the thing. Have werewolf
That's
power.
what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking.
Does it feel
want
like
it?
if I accept it that I would keep my
You have no way
consciousness?
of knowing.
Then you can
There's
talk
no way
to
of knowing
the
at
other
all.
wolves.
Oh boy. Well, let's fight it. Let's fight this.
All right, give me a wisdom throw.
Oh god.
You feel the
Oh god.
you feel a heat emanating from the bite where the werewolf kind of sunk its teeth into you.
I cut it off.
And it starts to spread through your body as your hair seems to grow slightly longer. Make another wisdom save.
Okay.
You better
Not with
fucking
advantage or
succeed here.
disadvantage this time.
Huh? Oh,
Just
without-
regular.
Make it, yeah. I just took the first one anyways.
we did it,
Oh
guys.
my god. Alright, you're dead, dude.
No, not dead.
Um,
Well,
I imagine
depending on
I still
what
have
you do.
control over myself while I'm transforming.
You do not.
I'm frozen.
No, well, you can't choose to do anything as you're kind of writhing on the ground.
Dang.
While he's transforming, can I grapple him?
Sure. Make
would
a.
that
Put
I
some
don't know
handcuffs
that like
on
would
him.
that interfere with his
It wouldn't stop.
Oh, yeah, you gotta press
transformation.
B.
No, but
You gotta
would it,
press
like,
B to
cause him-
spook him.
It wouldn't disadvantage his wisdom saving throws that he has to do, right?
No, because it's wisdom.
Right. Alright. Shit, yeah. I'm just gonna get ready for grapple. I want to move in melee range. That's what I want
Alright.
to do.
Yeah. So, Roland, you're watching as this happens, and you watch
Summon
as
up.
this gnome kind of writhing on the ground in pain after having defeated this werewolf.
Wait, I'm gonna put my amulet on him.
Okay.
I wonder if that would help. No, I'm gonna put it near him. It's in my hand, but I'm gonna fucking
Yeah,
stick it on him. See if it helps.
Just start rubbing it
doesn't
on
seem
me
to have
like
any
soap.
effect. At present, it doesn't seem to have any effect. It doesn't not have an effect, but right now it doesn't seem to be doing anything to the change.
The amulet looks
Right.
at you confused.
So,
Probably fucking
Woof.
charges in the moonlight too.
well, it's not the moonlight. It's just that kind of brought on the change. He could be in pitch black.
No,
and
I'm
still
saying
change.
the amulet probably doesn't have that much
Oh,
charge.
yeah.
It charges in the moonlight.
When fully transformed into his kind of hybrid form as he's trying to fight it off, he's the size of a normal wolf, where the other one was about 7 feet tall. He's maybe 5 feet tall.
Right.
Much
A
larger
mini
for Dill1,
wolf.
and his formerly fancy clothes are ruined. The loot kind of crushed under his foot as he thrashes about trying to prevent this change. As the change takes full effect, and you see a kind of a calm drift over his eyes as the transformation finishes, and he turns his gaze to you, Hiskar, and just lets out a deep guttural growl.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
Make us. Are you gonna grapple him?
I have no idea if he's in control of his character anymore. How much HP do I have? God damn it.
Is he able to communicate, or is he just?
No.
Nope.
The
Well,
wolf
no,
starts
you know what?
clicking.
I'm gonna grapple him. I'm gonna grapple the shit out of him. Yep, I'm gonna grapple
Okay,
him.
both of you make a strength check. Dill1 and Scott.
Just strength check, right?
Considering I have a new form,
Wow.
do I have a
Same
new strength
stats.
score?
Same strength.
Okay.
God damn. I rolled all those balls. Oh, he's gonna roll like a nat 20. Nope.
Well,
Wow.
Uh,
that
yeah,
werewolves
so
were
you're able
strong,
to
man.
you're able to kind of, as the transformation is taking place, Hiskar, knowing what's happening, you leap on top of him and kind of pin his arms back as as you feel the hair growing on them. You're able to hold him down as he's snapping at your face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What? I can't communicate. No, that's a fucking ritual. God damn it.
I mean, if you're able to restrain him, you could maybe perform
Spend
the ritual.
10 minutes.
I mean, 10
restrain-
minutes isn't that long out of combat. Essentially, rituals just mean you can't do them in combat, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay. So if I may.
Yeah, I mean, Dilwan is going to resist.
Yeah,
Being
we'll
tied
just
up.
make strength checks. Do we make 10 of them? Like one
Uh,
per minute?
No, just make a strength check initially to like tie him up and wrest him over to a tree or something, and then Dilwan make one dexterity check. Yeah, so you're able to tie him up. You kind of tie him to a tree, making sure that his claws, can't reach the rope to cut them or anything. And you start to prepare the ritual. And Roland, you kind of stand over him watching, and you see that he's struggling trying to escape. But as far as you can tell so far, he doesn't seem to be gaining any purchase.
Is he fully transformed, or is he still kind of?
He is fully well, he's in a hybrid form, but he is, you can tell that he's not himself anymore. He's
All right.
fully
Are we
taken
still in
by the
battle?
curse.
Cookie
No.
crisps.
No, I'm trying to communicate
No,
with him. I'm
yeah,
trying to
and so
cast a
after
ritual.
he's tied him up, you see Hiskar kind of kneeling, muttering under his breath and making signs in the dirt, and so do you want to do anything in the 10 minutes other than just guard the guy, or?
Well, if I have, I guess there's really nothing well, my special abilities I can only use them in combat, right?
Like what?
Let's see.
A lot of them you can use
Speak
outside
with
of
animals.
combat. No, you can do that outside of combat.
That's one of his first
Alright.
level spells.
So like
You
I'd
still
like
use
to
a
try
spell
that
slot,
maybe,
but
maybe just so I can see if I can communicate with him, maybe bring him back or see what he's thinking.
That's what I'm doing. If you want to waste a spell slot, you can. But for me, it's free.
it'll be his
Oh,
last
okay
spell
then.
slot.
Well, okay. Well, if you're doing that, then I guess I'll just
You
Yeah,
could
it takes-
you
it
could
takes
tend to
me-
his
maybe
wounds
I
or
can-
something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can
Maybe
medicine
I
check me.
can. I can do what?
You could you
medicine,
could try to heal Hiskar by curing his wounds. You have that ability.
that too.
Spell.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that then.
Sure. So just click on the spell. That's your last spell, so you have no more till you rest. But
To 11?
So 9.
Oh wait, 9. Yeah. Oops. 21.
All right,
Seems to
So-
be at that HP a lot.
Hiskar, what do you wanna say?
Um.
You're the one communicating.
Yeah.
Ask him where the
I'm gonna ask him and be like Dohwan, are you there? Like, can you? Are
He
you
doesn't-
there?
He doesn't respond to the name Dilwan.
Right. Then I ask what his name is. What's your name? There you go.
He doesn't respond. He just snarls and growls at you and snaps. But
What's the old man's name? Call him that.
Daigon is
It is
is
Daigon.
the old man with his penis flapping in the wind over here.
Yeah, but you never know if he freaking transfer all his power into somebody else after that bite.
Nah, it's a curse.
Hiskar knows that that's not how that would work.
Yeah.
Um, familiar with these sorts of things.
Damn it. Yeah. Fuck. I should have done this to Daigon. Well, I was in a rage.
You couldn't have cast spells in a rage.
Yeah, I know. No, but I would have been able to tie him up and all that stuff.
Might have been a little harder than a gnome werewolf.
I know, but I can comprehend them. So can I understand what he's actually like saying with his growls and whatnot?
Knowing the spell, you know that you can, but you can't understand what this one's saying. Whether it's because he's not saying anything, you don't know.
Can I look around and see if there's anything around us right now?
Sure. Make an investigation check.
Can I try to feed him a ration, like dried meats?
Sure.
Just to see if it'll
Make
calm
an
him
animal
down.
handling check.
Yeah.
So Roland, you kind of look around the side of the battle. That the ground is quite. Yeah. So you're able to feed him. The ground
Do it
is quite
first.
scuffed up. obviously you see claw marks everywhere. As you kind of examine the body of Daigon, obviously the body itself has nothing on it because it's totally nude. But where his clothes are, you're able to kind of follow the trail of his clothes back to a large sack that he seems to have been dragging with him. And inside the sack, you open it up and you find an amulet similar to the one that you saw Hiskar pull out, but almost different. It's made of some sort of different metal, it looks like, almost, and just touching it, you feel it has a faint aura, about a magical aura. You can't tell what it is, but as you pick it up, you feel the hum of magic. And going through the bag, the rest of the bag is just kind of meats and some skinned rabbits, just various kind of food for a werewolf, what you might expect to find, and then a fresh set of clothing you see as well.
Oh, so he was prepared.
That looks like
for
it
that.
would fit Daigon.
Damn, I'm sorry, Daigon. Well, this was the logical course of action.
You're doing your
If he's-
ritual.
I know. I'm just wondering to myself,
No, I know.
like
Yeah.
in person right now, if they go feral, why the fuck? And he didn't know that he turned into a werewolf because he just blacks out. Why the fuck would he get some shit ready? Okay, all right.
Well, so he had the amulet off of him while we were fighting him.
He had the amulet. It was like it was off of him in the bag.
Okay.
Hiskar, you know that if you accept the curse, you don't black out. You're in full control of your actions. You're just a werewolf with all the. Essentially, what happens from like a metagame perspective is your alignment changes to chaotic evil, but you're in full control of your actions if you accept the curse.
Right.
And you would know that.
Yeah, I know that.
So Daigon knew.
Well,
he
that
was
would
a
have been
werewolf.
nice to
Absolutely knew.
fucking know before he made his roll, so I could tell him just accept it.
Well, you didn't know. There wasn't enough time to tell.
I figured
him that. And
figured my no
even
wouldn't
if he accepted
know,
it, he
and I'm
would
neutral
initially-
good.
It takes. You know that it takes about a year to fully accept the curse.
Yeah. Okay.
You still
Was
lose
Daigon-
control for the first while.
Was Daigon wearing this amulet when we first?
We don't know.
He wasn't. You didn't see him wearing an amulet. You saw Hiskar pull one out of his drawer, which he clearly wasn't wearing. And this one, that first one didn't seem to have any power to it. This second one does. But he wasn't wearing it. Whatever.
Maybe we should throw it on his car. What do you think?
I'm okay. Dilhuan is the one that's a fucking werewolf right now.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. What do you think, his car?
Yeah,
Should we
yeah.
do-
Toss
should
it
we
on.
throw on Dylan?
Run over
Dilhon
there
thinks
and
it's a good idea.
Put it on his
Dilwan
head.
is currently not here.
Oh, we got mixed up. All right, let's throw it on Dylan.
Dilwolf
so-
thinks it's a bad idea.
So yeah, so as the
wolf.
wolf kind of thrashes about, you manage to get it around his neck, and it does seem to have a calming effect on Dilwan, and as you're kind of speaking, I'm assuming you're still speaking with him.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, regular communications, anything at this point, just like
Yeah, so you've kind of been talking this whole time, just like trying to see if it's actually working.
Right.
And once the amulet's on him, you feel almost a battle between two consciousnesses going on, as every once in a while, you'll hear his familiar voice kind of poke through until it's kind of swallowed by the growls and stuff. Dilwan, make a wisdom saving throw.
Well,
Hey, there we
There
go.
you go.
That's where the
so,
rolls are.
So after this has gone on for a fair amount of time. After you put the necklace on, you watch as the air kind of seems to darken around you, and the moonlight almost seems to get darker, as if the moon is being blocked. As Dilwan's consciousness kind of manages to break through, and he almost wakes up gasping, fighting against his ropes. Dilwan, you wake up. And all you see is Hiskar and Roland kind of bent around you, a strange amulet around your neck, and you have no memory of the past, few minutes.
so I untransformed. I'm back to gnome life.
as far as you know, you didn't know you transformed, but yes, you are back now.
Okay.
The last thing you remember
So
is
I'm just
the
saying,
werewolf
like, if I
falling
look
dead at
down,
your
I'm
feet.
not gonna see hair. It's
No,
just gonna be
yeah,
like,
the last thing you remember is the werewolf falling dead at your feet, and you wake up. You're you, and you have no reason to think you're not you. As far as you know, you were just knocked unconscious.
I see them just held around me with a rope tied around and go like,
And,
"Whoa,
yeah, and
guys,
you're
I'm not
tied
into
up.
this kind of party. This is not how I usually roll."
And Hiskar, you sense that this is Dilwan.
Right.
Yeah,
I
who
mean,
else
he
would
is
say
back
something
to
that's
normal,
stupid?
so,
Not fully, but
Yeah.
he is here. You
Dilwan.
You can
sense that
sense
the
his
curse
presence.
is in him, but dormant.
do I know how to get rid of it?
You do.
Right. And how the fuck? Because that's not in my bio.
I know.
You just cut
Mostly
off a
because
head
I
real
didn't make
quick.
up a reason, because there's no actual werewolf like curse and shit in this fucking game.
Good.
I know.
So I've been making it up. But you do know there's a number of ways. You know that people born with like the blood of a werewolf can can give up the curse voluntarily, and the symptoms will fade over time. But for the bite, it transfers as a curse. So the magic of a cure, like a curse removal, would work. But you also know of a number of plants that can be kind of concocted into a mixture of sorts that, while it doesn't fully cure it, it does dampen it long enough that the curse will fade over time, as if you were born into it and gave it up.
So it would take about a year, anyways.
No, it wouldn't be a year.
A couple days.
It would, and knowing what you know now, you know the curse is gone until next month for Dowan, until the next full moon.
Look, all we need is a black soul gem.
He's
we-
suppressed the curse until the next full moon.
Okay. Cool.
And the concoction would kind of stave off the curse for longer than that, and if it's staved off long enough, it'll eventually disappear.
So right now,
The only
it's
way to
not
immediately get rid of it is cure disease or cure like curses.
Yeah, cure a curse. Like,
And the only
dispel
person with
magic.
access to those spells is Dilwan.
So he can clear himself.
He doesn't have it on him, but
I know, but later.
I'll be like, "What do you mean cure disease? I'm fine.
that's-
Look
right,
at me.
right,
Look,
so I'm
I
gonna-
look
he
great.
would be,
Why would I cure
he
myself?"
might be reluctant to.
Right.
But yeah,
So-
sorry, you
Weird.
guys
I'm
talk.
gonna go ahead and I'm gonna explain him. He's gonna be like, the one you're tied up because you're a werewolf now.
No.
Not
That was
now.
Diagon Alley. I'm the gnome.
I'm actually pissed I didn't think about that fucking name before I made it.
You didn't realize it. So be like, no, listen, when you got bit,
Hey, listen.
Can I still see? Can I see? Where was I bit? On the arm?
On the leg.
On the leg?
Either
Can I
way, you're
see
tied
this?
up.
Can I see a bite wound on my leg?
Yeah, I mean, you have quite a few wounds from the battle. All of you do.
you remember being bit. It's not like the past hour and a half was just darkness.
It
now.
hasn't been that long, but yeah,
Yeah.
no, you remember.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
We
you
killed
passed
him.
out after the wolf was dead, so clearly you'd remember being bitten.
So he points at my leg, and I'm like, "But I feel fine." And I'm just looking at my
I know
leg,
that.
kind of feeling it. No, look,
That's how
look.
it
There's no
feels.
hair sprouting
You-
out of these wounds. I don't know. Well, look.
Can I punch him to make him shut up? No, I'm kidding. But listen,
What would
that's
me
how
mum say? She wouldn't even let me get a tattoo of a wolf. Now I am a wolf.
That's how the curse works. You don't wake up with any memory. You wake up like you normally would any day. Remember Diagon? He woke up in like 6 in the afternoon and went right back to sleep, and he didn't even know that he was a wolf. As far as we know. You're good for a month, but in a month's time, in the next full moon, you will become a werewolf. But for now, we're okay. Just keep that amulet on, because I don't know what happens if you take it off. Yeah, I figure. I don't know that there was a bag of clothes.
I mean, you would know.
I mean,
He's clearly
I-
accepted.
well, yeah,
I'm just
I
telling you
guess.
so you know. I didn't want to.
Well, whatever.
No, you said if the curse is accepted, you stay conscious, but you turn chaotic evil. So it's like, is it like, oh, if you took like a bunch of drugs, and then all your inhibitions
You-
just left, and you just decided to do whatever you want?
So essentially, if you accept the curse, you don't get to make a throw, like a saving throw, and you automatically transform and lose control of your character. But when you come out of it, you make a throw to see if you accept it. And once you've succeeded a certain number of times, then you have control of your character when you turn.
Okay.
But you'd have to. It'll take a couple months because it only happens once a month.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't think my
Well,
character would
the
do
full
that.
moon happens. The full moon happens more than once a month because it lasts a couple days.
Right. Yeah. True. Oh fuck. So this guy's gonna turn tomorrow. Well, no, it's staved off for a month. So even if there is a full moon,
He staved it off for this cycle.
for for another like let's say 30 days. Okay. So do you believe what I'm saying?
Dylan is in a daze, like,
Don't make this.
Mom?
No. I mean, you don't wake up like you're drugged the past half
No,
hour.
but
You
it's
wake
like the truth of the curse is settling in, and he can't handle it. It's like, what? No. No.
Right. I'm gonna untie him.
No.
I'm gonna pick him up.
Just sling him over your shoulder, fireman style.
Pretty much. And I'm gonna ask Roland, like, so what do we do now? Like, should we keep going or should we head back to the house and rest up?
I think we should head back to town and talk to the innkeeper because he
Straight
never
to
told
town?
us. He didn't. I think that if he's been feeding Diagon, that he knows something and he should have told us from the very beginning. So I think we should go back in there and have a little word with him.
Jorser looking up, is it still like midnight or is it like coming to be morning?
It's very difficult to tell in this forest.
Right. But it's like the moon right above me.
From the moon has moved kind of behind the trees, but the way that because of the trees and everything, night is kind of longer than day.
Right.
So in the forest, it's still like pitch black. There's no sunlight.
And we're still kind of like an hour or so away from the town, right?
You're about an hour, yeah. To
let's head
carefully
back to the
retrace
house.
your
Let's
steps.
head back to the house then, and then maybe we can stay in that one room. We can
Yeah.
lock.
We can hold up in the house.
So we can rest and maybe get our spells back.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, so back to the house we go. While this is happening, I'm gonna take a quick pee.
Yeah, so you're able to follow the same trail you took with you. Are you guys leaving Diagon out there, or you want to bring him with you, or what? It's up to you.
Ooh. He's dead, right?
He is dead. Yep.
Let's carry him with us. So
And
we can
very
show him-
nude.
Yeah. Let's show the innkeeper.
All right. I will say
his
he doesn't.
package.
Yeah, he's not a werewolf anymore. He is just Diagon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you pick him up. You know, he's a pretty old man. He doesn't weigh much. You're able to find the path that you took into the forest without too much trouble. You know, you're familiar with the forest, and you didn't exactly, sneak along.
We'll just follow the path.
With the barbarian charging in, it's not hard to find your way back to the house.
And the sack being dragged.
Yeah. So pretty uneventful. You see eyes, but they're not threatening like they were before. They just seem to be watching you this time, and they're not the burning red that they were before. They're kind of just, you sense the creature, and as you get to the clearing, you sense the creatures of the forest, the squirrels and the birds have kind of returned, as if they've sensed that something's changed. Now that you're back at the house.
Back in the house now.
You're back at the.
Maybe we can put some clothes on them and then just kind of tuck in for the night. For the rest of the night.
Sure. Yeah, so you dress the nude dead man. You kind of where do you want to put him? You gonna sleep with him or?
Yeah, fuck yeah, keep him. I don't want to come back to life. Fuck that.
Yeah, keep it out of him.
Yeah, so you kind of set him down in the corner, kind of tuck him in just in case, and kind of nod off to bed, locking the door. Is anyone keeping watch or anything, or are you just all resting? You're all pretty tired.
Okay. Did we pick up Dagon, by the way?
Yeah, and they've dressed him, and they're now sleeping with him.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Well, like
we keep a
in
close
the
eye
room
on
with them, in the corner.
So you guys aren't using him as a body pillow?
No,
Okay,
well, not
cool.
yet.
All right,
No,
not
but
yet.
we did pick him up so that we can show the innkeeper his
Right.
package.
Yeah.
His package.
They deliver a package.
Oh, I thought we were gonna flash the innkeeper, being like, "Hey, look, like weekend at Bernie's or whatever," and then like flash the innkeeper. I'm gonna go ahead and knock out too because my character's pretty tired. I don't think I'd be
Yeah,
able
you
to
guys
stay
are all
awake.
pretty exhausted.
Yeah, we're about to hit the exhaustion level. So
Yeah, so I mean, you guys all pass out pretty quickly. The thrill of battle, the adrenaline having worn off. You know, you're out pretty quickly. So you can all regain all your spell slots, all your HP, and everything.
Woo!
Any hit dice you may have spent, you can regain half those. You sleep through the night. No one's disturbed or woken up. You wake to the sound of birds outside,
birds.
Oh.
kind of chirping, and you wake and as you awake, the sun is kind of directly above you in the sky, above the clearing. And you notice that the woods seem more inviting almost. You know, you see animals
Birds.
wandering
Yeah,
around.
that's the first thing.
Birds,
Birds.
like you know, squirrels kind of in the clearing now. The eyes that you had seen kind of watching you, they're still you still feel something watching you, but it's no longer the burning red eyes, and it's not a threatening kind of gaze. It's more just, you know, animal curiosity, and the eyes aren't you know, blood red anymore. They're kind of just, you know, black, peering out at you, and much more skittish, a lot less kind of brave.
Aggressive. All right.
Ah, shit.
Well, shit. You wanted more fights?
No, we forgot the fucking sack out there.
You can go grab it. It's 10 minutes away.
I wanted to
Well, I
put
mean-
fucking Digon in that sack.
I don't know that he'd fit in the sack. It wasn't that big. Maybe.
Perfect for
Maybe.
D&D.
You said well, it was 2 feet wide. The
Yeah.
trail, the track.
Well,
Yeah.
we could he could fecal position, fetal
Position.
fetal,
I don't want to know what that is.
fetal position.
You might fit in the fecal position too.
Okay, so yeah, you want to go grab it in the woods? It's 10 minutes away. You know, now it'd probably take less because it's not.
I gotta
dark.
go back in there by myself.
Man, I'll follow you. We run in and we grab that shit and come back. There we go.
We can just carry him. What do you think?
Yeah.
I don't know. If we go in the inn and we just fucking show up with a dead body, it's like kind of weird. I don't know if we come in with a sack. It's like,
I mean,
we
in
can
this
kind of
world,
set them up.
it's not that weird. Honestly, just like walking around with dead bodies is like a thing.
All right, your call. I don't care.
Just fucking let's just run in the woods. Yeah, it's quick. It's right there. Can we, Joyce, are we allowed to in the morning real quick run in, run out?
Yeah, so it takes about 10 minutes. It's a little more difficult to find your way back just because, you know, you've slept, but you're able to make your way back. You find the sack where you left it.
I have excellent memory for maps and geography.
I know.
Yeah,
That's why
And
you
I don't
found
get
it.
lost in the woods either.
That's why you found it. Yeah, so you're able to get to the sack. Doesn't take too long. It takes about 15 minutes to get out there. Just because you're not used to, you know, in the day it looks slightly different. You manage to find it, bring it back.
And when you get back, you see the gnome straddled on top of the dead Diagon with his hands around the neck, going, "Why? Why? Why?"
I'm pulling up Joe Juan by the shirt. Like, so he's like,
I'm just glad they
kinda-
dressed him before he did that.
Why would you do this to me?
All right, so I'm gonna pull him off and be like, you know, we can fix this. I know we can fix this. And
You're tall. His insults are completely thrown off. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know.
I'm gonna pick up Digon like he's my girlfriend, you know, arm.
Yeah. Is this like a girlfriend you met at the bar and has had too many drinks pick up, or like
yeah, where like the arm is kind of slacked down and the
yeah.
head is tilted back, like she's
Yeah.
puked on herself maybe once or twice.
Yeah. As you do this, he feels sticky from the no.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and you pick him up. He doesn't weigh very much. You know, he's an old
Right,
frail
yeah.
man. He wakes up. No, I mean he's dead. So
That's
He's not dead.
Just
You're
just
now
out of fear,
carrying
like
an old man.
freaking the fuck out. I just cut his head off right there.
Yeah. So you're now carrying an old man.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're walking back into town, right? That's what's happening.
Sure. Yep. Yeah. So you guys managed to locate kind of the trail. This one's a lot easier to follow.
Oh wait, never mind. I put him in the sack. I forgot we grabbed that.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna put him in the sack when we get closer to town.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're able to follow. This trail's a lot easier to locate. It's kind of more of a established trail. As you're walking along, you come across the scene of your first battle. The bodies of the wolves have been kind of. You see they've been dragged off, and you see the bones kind of laying out. Something's kind of. The forest has clearly started to reclaim them.
So those were actual wolves. They never shapeshifted.
No. Yeah, those were wolves and stayed wolves. As you kind of you make your way after about 15 to 20 minutes of walking, you start to see the kind of the light peeking through in front of you instead of just from above, where the forest kind of ends and the farm and village starts. Do you want to throw him in the sack now?
Yeah, I'm gonna gently kind of place him in there. Like,
Yeah, so
is it a tight
Stuff
fit?
him
Actually,
in.
sorry.
It's a very tight fit.
Oh.
You as you're pushing him in, you kind of
All right.
you almost feel
So
like you may have broken an arm
No,
or something. to stuff
If
him
it's
in.
if I
If
can
you're gonna
see
do
it,
if you're
if
gonna
I
do
can
it,
s-
you might have to like break an arm.
if I can see it's gonna be a tight fit, I'm just gonna try to put it like over his head and shoulders and arms, kind of deal.
Sure. So now he's just
So-
got his legs sticking out.
Pretty
He is
much.
clothed. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but pretty
Yeah.
much. So it's
Yep.
not like just dead man's face in the air.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you
So-
know what happens when you just toss dead heads around.
Yes, I do. No. That was fucking. Arj's idea.
The holy cleric.
That was the holy clear. Dude, honestly, you should have made him like fucking roll wisdom save.
Literally if he kept playing like that, I would have.
Like that was just like some chaotic.
He was really
fucking,
tired that day.
I know.
That was like his. Yeah.
That
Anyways,
was some chaotic neutral shit. Yeah, but keep going.
that was fucking chaotic evil shit.
Well, it's not a
Yeah,
human
so-
head.
So you make it.
It's just tough bargaining.
You make it into town carrying the corpse. It's still deserted. I mean, obviously no one's come back.
They didn't hear overnight.
the-
Oh, we're almost gone. Come
in
back.
the day that you've been gone. Are you going to the inn?
Yeah, I'm going straight to the
Straight in
innkeeper.
that bitch.
Sure. So you make your way to the inn. You notice the same dwarf that was there before. He's clearly a
Ooh.
regular. And then a couple more people from town. Only like 2 or 3. But from what you can tell, this seems to be kind of the whole town.
Right.
Or what's left kind of that have stayed. As you walk in, the bartender turns to greet you, and when he sees the body thrown over your shoulder, he kind of takes
It's
a
in
step
my
back.
arms, yo.
Well, no, I know, but like when he sees that you're carrying a body, he's surprised, not disgusted, just kind of taken aback.
Yeah.
And he kind of grabs you by the arm and pulls you into the back room.
Yeah, of course. That
Before
was gonna be
anyone-
time to follow us into a room,
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah, and he kind of he's lost for words. He's just kind of mouth agape, staring at you, and he managed. What have you done?
That's what he's gonna say, motherfucker. You're making
I
this
mean,
hard for me
all
not
he
to.
knows is you've just walked in here with his buddy.
I would
What does
expect
it
a what
look like we've done?
happened, not a what have you done, automatically assuming that I'm some murderer.
Yeah.
I mean, that he assumes you're some murderer.
I know. Fucking dick.
Absolutely.
You never make it easy for me to like people in these games. Especially
Obviously,
fucking
we decided to go
Sildar.
kill your best buddy and bring him back here for a reward because that's where you
No.
hired us. You wanted us to murder your friends.
Yeah.
Digon hired us, bro.
I don't care. I'm distraught over here. I've got my some stringed instrument around. I can't recognize it
Okay,
anymore.
okay.
It's a
So,
stringed
I
instrument.
I mean,
I'm plucking
yeah,
it.
I
It's
mean,
out of
and
key.
he's taken aback. He's not aggressive. The innkeeper.
Yeah. I know. What's it called? What's his name again? Remind me.
You don't know. You literally haven't asked.
Oh, that's true. Someone be like, listen, this is Digon, and I'm gonna set him on the floor.
You
kind
gotta
of-
introduce it to him real quick. Look, this is a Digon.
Well, yeah, he doesn't know it's covered in fucking sack.
Yeah. So do you like pull the head off? Or
No,
the,
I'm
not
just
the
gonna
head,
pull
the,
pull
bag,
heads.
the bag
Yeah.
off his head, or you just set the body down.
Wrong campaign, Jorser. I'm setting it down. I'm not pulling anything off. I'm just telling him it's Digon. Does he immediately interject something, or can I keep talking?
I mean, he doesn't say anything, but you can tell like he's sad.
Right, of course.
And-
All right,
and
whatever. No, I'm
distraught.
just wondering if he's going to be like
Surprise! He's not going to say anything though.
"You
No.
to him," like automatically, just like
No. He
go all
seems
Shakespeare on
to
me.
yeah, he seems to be kind of
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna put him down and say, look, this is Dagon. He seems to have been the cause of all of the beasts and howling in the area.
he kind of turns to you and he says, "Digon?
He
How? What?"
All right, look, I don't believe this fucking guy not one bit.
who me or
Threaten him. No, the fucking innkeeper. He's playing dumb.
Sure. What do you want to do?
oh, you can
I want
actually
to threaten him with my short sword because I'm right there.
what the
Okay.
fuck?
Look,
Give me an intimidation check. Yeah,
There.
so
Oh my
you,
God.
you whip out your sword and kind of hold it to the innkeeper's neck. What do you want to say to him? Like
like,
he's
look, stop with the
terrified,
bullshit. What the fuck is going on?
he sword to his neck. He kind of he's stammering. He manages to kind of spit out. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Can I roll or actually he should. Never mind. Yeah, he should probably roll the insight.
You're all there. You can all any one of
I
you can
mean-
perception check if you want,
Is it insight?
or insight. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna insight check to see if he's lying when he says he doesn't know.
Sure.
Please.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to be totally terrified.
And
He doesn't
telling
look
the
like he-
truth.
Yeah, like he doesn't seem to be like in any capacity to lie. As this is happening, the faint smell of pee kind of hits you as you look
I-
down, and there's a small puddle under his
I
legs. As he's
put my hand
uh,
on top of the
Oh my
short sword and I
God.
put it down.
just
I like
the
motion
first
the
you
short
walk
sword
in with
down.
his dead friend, and
Can
and then-
I, as we're doing this, as he kind of like seeing if he's telling the truth or whatever, can I look around at the people that are there to see if anybody's like watching kind of weirdly?
there's no one else in the room other than you guys. You guys have kind of gone into the back room of the bar. It's like a storage room. So it's just you guys right now. On the other side of the door is kind of the main tavern. But so there's no one watching you or really that can hear you right now.
Well, they
In this
can hear us or they cannot.
They can't not from this
Okay.
room. Or at least not that you can tell. No one's reacting to what's going on.
Are you gonna go out and check, or are you staying here?
Well, if nobody can hear and nobody can see, then what's the point? Nobody knows shit.
Well, as far as you know, it might be like
Yes.
up against the door. Who knows?
All right. Well, then let me go outside and just peek around and see what everybody's doing. Just a quick look. What do you need? Investigation?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you kind of. I mean, you poke your head out, just kind of into the other room. No one seems to be paying any attention. As the door opens, you see one guy look towards the door, hold up his mug and shake it, and then go back to his conversation. But other than that, no one seems to have noticed anything.
Can I walk up to the dwarf that was there when we very first walked into that inn? Obviously, he wasn't there the second time in the morning, but he's
Yeah.
there now. Can I go up there and talk to him?
Sure. Yeah, he's just sitting alone, drinking his beer. What do you want to say to him? As you approach the table, he kind of looks up at you, and he doesn't say anything, but he just kind of eyes
Is he
you.
scared? Does he look scared?
No. I mean, as far as you can tell, he's just drinking in this bar. So he seems pretty calm.
So, no, I'll be like, remember us? You remember us?
He kind of pauses as he kind of looks at your face, and he says, "Oh yeah, you were here a couple of nights ago. You're the fellows Digan hired, aren't you?"
Okay, how the fuck does he know that?
Do you want to ask him that?
Yeah, how the hell do you know that
Yeah.
Dagon hired us?
He says, "I mean, you walk in here with your bows and your armor. You're obviously adventurers, and we all got word that Digan is taking care of this wolf problem. Any word on that? I'd really like to get my family back sometime here soon." That's all he
Ricky's about
says.
to go into a rage and murder the town.
All four
I feel like
members
this
that are still
guy.
here.
I feel like this guy's full of shit, bro.
Not everyone
Everybody's
is an evil
lying
genius.
to me.
Not everyone's an evil guy.
It's just why was he not? I don't know.
You can
What
insight
time
check
is
him.
it now? What time of day is it? Is it morning?
It's about it was noon when you left from the house. So it's been about an hour or so.
Late afternoon.
I
in
like.
this
Let me
city.
ask the guy where's his family, because he said he'd like to tell his family.
Yeah,
some shit.
he says I sent them away when the attacks started happening. I got a business to run. I can't leave, but you know I'd I don't know what I'd do if I lost my little girl.
All right, where are they?
I sent him down to Whiterun. We've got a family down there. And
What?
Whiterun is the town that you guys came from.
Oh, you mean Skyrim?
Yeah, like,
No, what? Whiterun is actually a town in the Sword Coast.
Oh, is
oh
it?
boy.
Yeah.
Who's the Jarl?
But how does he know we? How does he know we were in that town?
He
No,
doesn't
no,
know
no,
that.
he
He didn't
doesn't.
say that. I'm telling you that you know the town. He is.
Oh,
That's where he
okay.
sent his family.
Okay.
And he told you that he has family, and you came from there. You know there are dwarves that live there with humans and elves and everything. Like there's nothing that would raise suspicion with that.
Okay.
If you want, you can insight check him to see like if
No,
you can
it's good.
tell if he's lying or anything.
No, I'll take his word on that one.
Yeah.
I just.
I
kinda
mean,
curious
just like
how he's-
in talking, he doesn't seem to be, suspicious really at all. He's just kind of here sitting enjoying his beer. As you're kind of talking, he tells you that he owns he's a woodworker and he owns a mill here, and so he stayed behind to kind of keep it running, try to still make some money when the wolves attacked, but he sent his family away to try to keep them safe.
I guess maybe I'll go to the bar and just fucking fix myself a drink and then go back in there and just chill with them, talk to them for a little bit.
Sure. Yeah. So you head behind the bar, you pull out
Sleight
a
of
couple
hand.
mugs.
Maybe
I
I'm
mean,
a
no
little
one's there.
ashamed.
No one's there to stop him. So
No, I know. I'm just.
yeah, a couple people kind of look up as they see you walk behind the bar, but they seeing your big bow and knowing your reputation as an adventurer.
Rolled in with a body.
No one really noticed that. They just saw a sack. One guy might have saw some feet, but he was pretty drunk. So you pour yourself a mug of ale and make your way back into the room where. What have you guys been doing while he was chatting? Bartender's pissed himself.
Dohwan, are you like mumbling madness to yourself still? Okay, I'm gonna say that's a yes.
Dill's calmed down, but he doesn't. He doesn't look happy.
So I was talking to the bartender. I told him, this is Daigon, and he was the cause of all of this. He accepted the curse of the werewolf. And
Werewolves here?
Yes, here.
How could this happen? I've known him all my life. Me and Daigon we grew up together.
Well, I don't know how it happened to him.
Yet he hasn't seen him in 50 years.
It did.
Well, not 50, like 5 to 10, 15 or so. Because he lived in that house. He got letters from him and stuff. Like they talked. He just never came out of his house once he got a little older.
Don't say, remember, you haven't seen him in a long time. Things could have happened to him in that house. And things did happen in that house while we were there.
And he kind of pauses and he thinks and he goes, now that you mention it, I did think it was odd a couple of years back when, he stopped leaving. I mean, he was always pretty spry for his age. And then one day he kind of just stopped coming into town. That's why I kept sending those care packages. He's an older fella. I wanted to make sure he was taken care of.
And around the same time, the woods got more and more aggressive, didn't they?
And he kind of thinks and he says, I mean, we haven't been having problems for that. It's been maybe like a few months that these attacks have been happening, but
it's a gradual process.
And he kind of pauses and he just keeps looking at the body and he's kind of at a loss for words. He doesn't know what to say.
Are you gonna clean your pants?
I think he was actually asking that in game.
Yeah, he kind of pauses and looks at you and he just breaks down and starts crying, kind of over the body of his friend.
Right. So I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder and be like, the woods should be much less dangerous now. We had no troubles coming back, and I'm sorry that your friend made a bad choice.
He kind of like sniffles a little bit and holds his head a little higher and he says, well, if what you say is true, then I suppose I I owe you my thanks, travelers. I don't have much to give you. Business hasn't been good since the wolves came, but I can offer you what I do have, and invite you back anytime you're in the area for a pint on me. And he kind of starts to shuffle away to, you assume, get your reward. He goes up some stairs to what looks to be kind of his room.
I guess we'll just wait for him at the bar.
Sure. So you guys go outside. He comes back about like 2 minutes later, with a pouch, and in the pouch is he hands the pouch. He just kind of sets the pouch down on the table, kind of in between all of you, and then he goes back to kind of tending bar. You see some of the patrons, seeing that he's returned, have kind of held up their mugs, and he nods to you guys, wipes his eyes a little bit, and hurries off to kind of tend bar.
So how much is in the sack?
So inside the pouch, you open it up. There's about 50 gold pieces in there, and then along with that, you see 2 rings made of gold with inlaid rubies, that are also in there, worth probably about 50 gold each.
Can I ask him where his son is?
Yeah, so he kind of comes back to the bar after waiting on a few tables, and at the mention of his son, he kind of shakes his head and he motions kind of to the back room, and he says, "I'm sure he's still sleeping. He's not the hardest worker, but with the times we've had, it's tough to find good work." And he kind of pauses, and he looks at you guys and he says, "Any of you interested in running a bar?"
No.
Well, it was worth a shot.
I hand 20 gold to Juan and Roden.
Yeah.
So they each get 20 gold in their pouches.
Sure.
Nice.
And I'm also giving both of them one each a ring.
All right.
The rings aren't magical, right? Well, I wouldn't be able to tell I'm a fucking barbarian.
I mean, they don't seem magical to you. Usually, even a barbarian, you can sense when something is magical. It'll feel a little lighter than it should, or it'll feel cold or warm, or
Right.
you don't feel any.
Is this the end of the adventure? I'm guessing yes.
I mean, it never really ends, but this is the end of what I have.
Of the one shot, I mean.
Yeah. We actually ended what I had like an hour ago. I've just been kind of winging it since then, but yeah.
So let's stay in the inn for a little bit and just watch as people come in day by day and by week or whatever.
Yeah, and
money
slowly,
people and money start to come back into the city, and then we hit up the strip club with all this cash that we got, and just start fucking making a hail on these bitches.
Yeah,
all these gold pieces.
We've become lumber barons.
It only takes about a week for people to start kind of returning to the town, hearing the news. And having stayed in the town, Dilwan playing in the tavern every night to the delight of the crowds, and the chagrin of Hiskar and Roland, having heard the same song over and over through their travels.
While this is happening, because in case we stay here for too long, can I look around for those herbs that make a drink for him?
Well, and I was going to say that after about a month, Dilwan, the next cycle of the full moon comes, but as far as you can tell, as long as Dilwan has the necklace on, it seems to keep the curse at bay.
Okay, cool.
But you can look. You could look, but knowing the herbs as you do, you're unlikely to find them in this area. Right. They tend to grow more in the north, in the colder regions.
Okay, we just have to go to Whiterun and get a cleric to dispel you.
Yeah. Or you've heard tales of quite the adventuring band in Fandalian with a cleric that could.
Handling all of those characters at once.
No, yeah, I know.
It would be great though, because our party would have like so much variety.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, well, I purposely picked ones that no one else was playing.
No, because that other group in Fandalen is our actual campaign.
Yeah.
So I'd have to control this and the bard, or the bard and my paladin.
Yeah. These gonna have a pet werewolf.
We could easily throw one guy in though.
Yeah,
But yeah,
werewolf. Throw the werewolf in. Throw the bard in. Fuck it, dude.
that'd actually be kind of interesting to play with. I think.
Yeah,
but-
He
I mean,
keeps
I'd be
the werewolf
down
in a
later
bottle.
on. Though. We're gonna do that later on. Though. Throw the
Yeah.
werewolf dude in. We'll eventually hit Whiterun for
It's
whatever.
been- When did we start? Has it been
like
4.5
at 7?
hours?
It's been like around 4 hours. Yeah, I expected. Honestly, I did not
Literally-
expect you to do
literally-
this.
Every fucking time we play, it's like just 4 hours.
I mean,
It's like, yo, let's do like it'll be like an hour. Fucking
especially in like
4
the
hours
main
later.
the main campaign. Like, dude, I'd go for 8 hours on the main campaign, like easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how far did we stray off of your original idea?
Hey,
How far did we stray from your
Oh,
original plan?
I mean, what I did have was honestly pretty like,
Like a skeleton.
yeah, like because the trick. The issue is like if I go too linear and you guys want to go somewhere else, then it's like, oh fuck, like I prepared really hard for this one thing. So I kind of had like the basic idea of you'd meet some wolves in the forest, you'd meet a kind of a weird old guy that would turn out to be the bad guy, but isn't super obvious, but is still kind of obvious. I was a little worried you'd go wandering off in the woods, and then I was like, I didn't have anything really ready for that because it would just be more wolves. But yeah, it was kind of just you guys like you saw everything I had prepared, and then I had
Yeah.
to wing a little bit
mean,
here and there.
It is a one shot. It's meant to be just done in one session, not like Super Open World, like our campaign
yeah.
right now.
Yeah, I nerfed the last fight slightly, but
Thank
also
God.
buffed it at the same time to make it fun. Because technically, werewolves are immune to all damage that isn't magical or silver.
Yeah.
So I just made him resistant to
Or
non-silver
spears.
damage. But then to compensate, I gave him more health. So he ended up having like a third or like a third extra health.
He had
but
like about 80
resistance.
HP, didn't he?
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had like 70. Normal werewolves have like 50 to 60.
From what I remember with the damage, he had like somewhere between 70 and 90. I was thinking
But
like 80,
but remember
85.
he was taking half damage from Roland and Dill.
I know that's why. Because fucking Ricky was nuking this motherfucker.
Yeah, yeah.
With all that damage.
Literally, if it was like if you had silvered arrows, you would have literally like one shot, and I would have had to like come up with another fight.
You just have to toss
And then
like
from out of the
3
woods,
werewolves.
2 more werewolves pop up.
Yeah.
Basically, because this motherfucker's doing like 30 damage a
Yeah.
fucking hit.
I also I really didn't want you guys to rest because the fight was kind of balanced around you having used a little bit in the first fight. Not like having nothing, but not having all your spell slots available.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, we
I
cut
think-
it close with the spell slots. We had like one. Ricky didn't have any, and then
yeah, which is
Dylan
kind of how
had
you
one.
want it. You want to
Yeah.
like you're supposed to have like 6 encounters in a day. So since I cut that down, I made them slightly harder
Yeah.
with like a bunch of wolves.
So we Gucci. We became the lumber barons of this town apparently, and are now running a town.
Hiskar used to be a werewolf though.
Yeah, I did.
He was
Apparently,
and he was resistant to the.
couple of things that I should have known before I actually realized that I knew them, but it's okay.
Yeah, I couldn't really keep track of the shit that I said you knew, anyways.
I know it's fine.
Yeah.
It was a one shot. It's like a bare bones kind of thing. It's not
wolf
like-
bones. Actually, they weren't bears.
Whatever.
They were just the size of bears.
Oh my god! I swear to God, Jorzer. You got like
Dad jokes for
dad-
days.
yeah, I was like, you got dad jokes for fucking days.
If you do another one, do something like do something less. I don't know. I guess werewolves is kind of
Yeah, I mean, I pulled
don't
that
know.
out of my ass. It's
yeah,
kind
but
of
but it was a good one because I got the hang of it with something that everybody knows, which is werewolves.
Yeah.
Everybody knows about.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I
If we
guess
started
just,
facing fucking
now that I
ice
kind of know
giants-
more or less how to play,
Now you want to fight
come up with
Cthulhu.
something more like creative or like more like different.